that every day, or something nice like that.
I think we're on now. Let's see.
We're on.
I think we're live. Let's see.
Alright, let's crack out the juice.
The juice.
I got his ginger juice.
Get his juice, huh? Let's see.
Oh, we're just chatting stream.
Yeah.
We're just chatting stream.
Okay, that works. I mean, granted, it looks like Joe Rogan right now. It looks like the first episode of Joe Rogan, but it's fine.
Yeah, well, hey, Joe Rogan's famous.
We're fine, yes. We're fine. We're chilling.
Okay.
Let's see.
Who wants ginger ale?
I have some,
Oh, yeah.
I suppose.
Although I'm very bad at these. Oh, wait.
Want to do it?
Yes. Keon's experienced. We are having 0 sugar ginger ale, everybody. This is the KJ Podcast Summer Fiesta. We're live, right?
Yes.
And this is my lovely friend Vanessa. She set everything up for us today. It's wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. She did such a good job. We have this lovely light. We have a curtain. We're going to try not to get anything messy. It's going to be very good today. We're going to be very clean, very organized.
It's Fallout. We got caps here. Anyway. No, because Fallout's the game called Fallout. The currency is bottle caps. So yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's cool.
Wow. That is cool.
But granted, their own bottle caps are probably only worth like 5 cents per, because it's only like that much steel.
Yeah, that's pretty much, yeah.
So it's not the greatest thing. What's up? What's up, guys? It's us. We're back here.
Summer
We got
Fiesta.
a guest over here right now.
Vanessa.
We usually don't.
I got my chips.
Yes.
This is my signature food hero. This is how people are going to remember me. Oh, we can see the chat.
Yeah, right now.
Beautiful. So, guys, today I have a story to tell. Today I woke up. Why is buffering?
Hold on. I'm just checking things. Oh, yeah, I can use my phone.
Yeah, make sure the phone's okay. I need to tell people about the peanut butter crackers today. I was very traumatized.
Was it, do you have a Wi-Fi? I don't have Wi-Fi exactly.
Yeah, I have. I'll look it up.
Not just yet. Just go to the chat real quick so we have like something to see the chat by, so that way no one's like, you didn't skip my question.
Yeah, that happened last time. I feel bad about that. Because he knew us though, right? Okay.
Liam, I know Liam.
Okay, yeah. We don't have anyone here. Wait, why isn't it playing? What?
Yeah, no.
Okay, there we go. It's like, I think it's just like loading.
Yeah, it's gonna take some time. But yeah, hopefully we are looking at.
So, I got traumatized today by peanut butter cookies, guys. I don't know why, the peanut butter cookies, they didn't taste good. They did not taste good. No, they tasted like motor oil. I'm not even kidding. I don't know what was wrong with them. It's like moving slowly.
Yeah, I'm just you want to put up in your phone? That way I can just.
It is on my phone.
That is alright. I was scared of that, but now we don't need it. Trying to free up some of this space here, and yeah, we should be straight now. I think we should be good. It's just on my bed. The phone is right on the
Thank you, Vanessa. Vanessa's gonna get us some lovely napkins because she's an amazing host. She set up everything. No, we're at her house.
So yeah,
she is the host today.
Alright, sure. Okay, usually.
No.
Eh.
Kiana has
Oh, there we go. Yellow
salsa if
green.
you
There
get
we go.
hungry.
Yes, we're getting some up. Now we're back to red. But anyway, hopefully we're not jittering and stuttering because that would be fun. But if the stream does turn out terrible, I'm still recording it, so we should be good for the most part. Should be straight. We should be on all sets, all go. But yeah. So how's your day been? How's everybody's day been?
Did you hear? I got a conversation topic. Did you hear what the witches are doing on TikTok? They're trying to hex the Taliban. They're gonna hex the Taliban. The witches on TikTok. I'm rooting for them. Like, if I could hex the Taliban, I'd do it. You know. We're at Vanessa's house. Vanessa, tell us. about life? What's your...
It's been good.
Mm.
I have a pet rabbit named
Oh, yeah.
Clover,
Mm-hmm.
and she recently, I've been trying to train her for a while to be like a good free roaming rabbit. And recently before she used to kind of make messes on my bed because she was very obsessed with it. So I had to kind of train her not to. So I kind of blocked her off from my bed for a really long time. And if she ever did anything, like I sort of scolded her and took her off the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
recently, she broke into my blocked off area, but she keeps getting into it. We don't know how she moves the bars with her teeth and everything, and escapes into it. And I'm like, how are you this genius rabbit that just
Yeah, she's
gets
like an
in
escape
with-
artist.
you think rabbits say that's intelligent? Like they're intelligent. They're pretty fast. You
I
know, like they
know.
move.
It's so crazy. So
And also the teeth are pretty strong. They kind of can just gnaw on a lot of things.
their teeth
Not
grow
rat-
forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's that too. Also, a lot of rodents have that ability to do that. Like rats, in particular, like mouse and rats, like they have that. Where it happens, like their teeth get to this point, like this long, not like
Really?
yeah, they get really long. But that's the reason why they keep gnawing on metal and ropes and stuff to keep them down. Because if they didn't, their teeth would grow really
Oh no.
really long. So yeah, there's that problem. So
Yeah, we always give her lots of chew toys.
yeah.
But she escaped into my bed area. But the weird thing is she wasn't making any mess. It was like she learned.
Mm.
So then I was like, okay, I can't deal with this. You already messed up my gate that I was protecting my little area from you. So I'm just gonna take it all down. Just forget it. I'm gonna see what you do because I give up. And so I just take it down, and she doesn't do anything anymore at all.
Really?
She's just good. So yeah. So she just free roams my room. I don't really need anything blocking her off. And she's been pretty good, but I do have to try to train her to chew the right things. Because now she's trying to chew my bed, and I'm like, no. You can't chew my bed. So I'm training her to not chew my bed. But
Yeah.
yeah. But that's just the cool thing that happened to me recently. Because now she gets to just be a happy free roam bunny.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, her bunny's so cute. I remember he used to try to escape his pet a lot. When we were first training him, he was able to get top of the ceiling down, and then he was about to jump from the ceiling onto the bed, and then your mom said she came in and she stopped.
Yeah. There were times where I was doing Zoom calls with classes and everything, and I blocked off my rabbit from my bed, and I thought it was very tall gate and everything.
Yeah.
And she just I'm in class, and then I turn around and I didn't hear anything either. It was completely silent. I just look over at my bed and she's on it. She just she jumped over it, and I'm like, how did you just from the ground jump? It's I don't know, 5 of her tall, or more. I don't know. If you stack bunnies, I don't even know how tall it would be. But she just jumped over it. I'm
Yeah,
Oh my god, yeah.
how can you just jump over that?
But
without making
she's
a noise?
magic.
What
Yeah.
you?
Magic,
No, but I'm
magic.
no, this thing I was the rat was it? Rabbits they're used to running from things, They're used to running from all types of predators. They need to be able to jump that high, eventually, they need to be able to get up on certain things to not get hit by coyotes and stuff like that. But it's just crazy because they're only certain animals have those hind legs that can just spring up like that. It's crazy. It's who's it? Speaking, it's funny though because there's penguins. Penguins they can jump their height without those legs. It's kind of funny.
That's so crazy.
A penguin could be 5 foot and it can just jump to 10 feet. It can
That's
basically.
weird.
That animal's amazing. What can humans do? Animals can do
Okay.
this crazy
Here's the
stuff.
thing. Here's the
And
thing
then
about.
humans just sit and eat
Here's
chips
the thing about humans. It's us humans. We get high stamina and high intelligence. That's all we get. Everything else is just non-existent. We don't get hard in the skin. We don't get all
why?
this. I mean, you get
Why?
was it because I think about it? I think the reason is because our ability to adapt to things. That's part of the reason why we survive.
Yeah.
It's because we just adapt to everything. Eventually we'll get the hardest game, but we're not born with it. So it's
Okay. I
It's
want
more like
superpowers.
Yeah, we can fly higher than pretty much any bird and go
yeah, because
deep down the ocean, deep as deep as like these crazy
Anglerfish.
animals that can't even get out of that deep because they'll die because they need the pressure.
Oh yeah.
We are really weird.
Isn't there a fish that looks like a grumpy, like a puffer?
Oh no,
Like a weird fish?
it's a blobfish, but the reason
Yeah.
why it becomes that way is because there's no pressure, so
Yeah,
therefore
exactly.
it just like looks like it's melting.
I feel so
It
awful
looks like a melted
for that.
candle.
Yeah, like it's supposed to be in these high pressurized places, and then we rip it out, and then it's like this blob. And
Yeah,
I'm
but like when
oh.
you put it back into its environment, it's gonna look like its normal self. It's not gonna look like that.
Okay, so it's like okay after we put it back.
I mean, if you better put it back quick, because
What does a blobfish even look like as its normal self? I only see pictures
I'm pretty-
of it like as a blob.
Yeah.
Google it.
I think it's just another
normal
fish,
fish,
just
yeah.
another fish that has like.
I can Google it.
So it would look. I feel like it would look more structured, not as flabby.
Yeah.
But it would still have its weird nose.
Yeah, it has its nose, but it's just that yeah, it won't be as like disarrayed.
It's like this is what it looks like in the water, and that's what it looks like on land.
Oh, it's so weird.
I feel so awful
That's
for
so
this
sad. It's cute. When
Yeah, it
it's
looks
like
cute in
normal.
the water. It looks ugly on land. I feel
If
awful.
no one knows what a blobfish looks like normal, they should look up because it
They
actually
should.
looks cute.
It's a normal
sad.
fish.
It looks like a nice normal, and I feel awful when it looks like
Oh my
this.
gosh, that's literally because you took it out of its environment. Now
Yeah.
it's like depressed.
I
It's
know.
not even depressed. It's just that's what happens. It's just like it's not used to being in like a low pressure environment, so therefore it's like that's what I'm gonna change to. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of like how when we go up mountains, our lungs fill up with fluid because our body's like, oh, we need something to help breathe. It's like, but it's actually hurting us because we can't breathe with the fluid in our lungs.
Yeah. Wait, really?
Yeah, it's called altitude sickness.
Oh.
Yeah, if you go too high too quickly.
I don't think we should climb that.
Now we can get away with like 6,000 feet. We can get away with that. I mean, air's gonna be a little bit thin, but we'll get away with it. But like, once you start getting to like 10,000, 20,000, that's when it's
mess
bad.
up your head too, like your brain and your
Yeah, it's
eyes. It'll like burst. I think it like can burst stuff in there. If you go too
Some
high.
stuff. It's like you have to keep like after a certain limit, you have to keep an oxygen tank available because you're gonna need it. But there's some people that don't need it at all.
Oh yeah,
Like,
they're like crazy.
There's some people that they can just climb Mount Everest without any equipment and
That's
it's be
so
fine. It's weird. Like there's
How
just
do they know they can do that though? Before
no
they
like
do it?
because they were born in the mountains. They used to.
Oh, yeah.
That's where they live. They
Oh,
just,
yeah, I
they just
get
live in
that.
them. That's where
If you were
they come
born-
from the mountains. So therefore, like if you're used to being in like a low altitude area, it's not going to be hard for you to get. It's not going to be hard for you to climb up even higher because you're kind of just used to not breathing air. But because like also like what happens up there is like for you to get more oxygen, you double your blood supply. So it's like.
Yeah.
You have to double like all your hemoglobin, all that stuff. But yeah, like you have to double up your blood, so therefore it can get more oxygen.
So what if you take someone from that place and you put them like at ocean level? Would they be like?
Oh, their stamina would be ridiculous.
And what?
They would be able to run way farther than us because of that.
Really?
Because of that extra.
They
blood
have
supply.
like superpowers. I want superpowers.
But at the same time, like your body will adjust to the low altitude after a certain time. So it's not like a long term benefit. It's kind of like a
Oh.
short. It's like because like I said, your body adapts to wherever you're at. So like eventually you'd be able to live in the mountains no problem. But for right now, if we went to the mountains right now,
Yeah.
we would have a hard time. We'd be breathing we'd be breathing heavily for like the first
Actually,
week or so.
Vanessa, you climb the mountains, right? You
Yeah.
climb the mountain, guys.
So I was like,
You get acclimated to it, you know.
I was at like Baxter, which is in Maine, and it's the very end of the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah,
And I was debating if we I was with friends, and we were debating if we should do
the whole thing.
Mount Katahdin, which is one of the Appalachian Mountains, and it's like 5,000 something feet.
Yeah,
Or if we should do the Owl, which my friend always does with her dad every year when they go there. And the Owl is a little shorter. It's like 3,000, like 600 or something like that feet up. But we decided to do the Owl because even though Katahdin is longer and takes a longer time and you go up higher, the trail apparently the trail on Owl is harder because like the rocks and everything are more intense and you go up faster, sharper. And so, like, when we were going up the Owl, it was, like, really crazy because at first it seems like okay. It's, like, it's a hardish hiking trail, but you're not, like, doing anything crazy. And then you get to, like, the rocks. And you have to, like, literally climb up the rocks. And if it, like, I feel like if it was any steeper, I'd literally be doing, like, rock mountain climbing or something. But luckily, it wasn't that crazy. But we had to literally climb up the rocks. And, like, there were points where when we got to near the top, like, there was just trees next to you, and if they weren't there, you could just, like, fall off while you're climbing up the rocks. So it was really fun, but you have to be prepared.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, she was ahead of everybody. You were ahead of everyone. They were making fun of you, and then you led the team.
Yeah, me and my sister, they were like, you're gonna regret going fast, and we were like, but we're going our regular pace. And then we get to the top, and we were fine.
Yeah.
And we just, like, I don't know how we did it, because I thought we were gonna be real slowpokes. Like,
Yeah.
their dad's really serious, and he's like, hey, if you want to take the lead, then you're gonna have to deal with when we push you and shove you and you get tired, because you're gonna have to keep going. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I don't want to get tired. And then I realized, wow, like, we just didn't get that tired. I was like, okay.
You and your sister are always
What
adventure.
was it? It's like it's probably like don't want to start running up those hills. You probably just want to take your time, like just pace yourself.
Yeah,
to
you
it,
don't
like,
want
just
to
keep-
rush.
We were just walking.
Yeah, that's probably why like you were fine like for the most part because like you weren't doing like super like strenuous work, but at the same time it was a bit more strenuous than being on surface level.
Yeah.
You know.
You gotta make sure you have enough water. Cause,
Yeah.
like, one of the big things is when somebody hiked Katahdin, they had to take them off with a helicopter because they got dehydrated. And, like, there was somebody there. It was so crazy. Walking down Katahdin after they did it, and their shoes are falling off.
What?
Like, their soles of their shoes are falling off. They literally did not wear good shoes, and so when they were coming down, they had no other choice but to wear these shoes where their soles were just, it was flapping off.
What?
And I was like, how did you go up the mountain like this? Like that's like actual risk. Like there's bears and there's all different stuff. Like what if something happened? You don't have shoes? Like
Some people can.
like, what
Some
are you
people are
doing?
crazy.
your feet's supposed to be on the ground. You know, it's like you're supposed like the reason why like feet got rough over time is because you're supposed to be walking on dirt, but it's just
Really?
that we built shoes because of ringworm and all these other things because you don't want to get parasites, so you have to wear rubber soles. That way you don't get parasites. You
Well,
know?
also like some terrain.
Also
just,
protects your feet too, because like there's
Yeah.
also sharp rocks and
Yeah, I don't
other
think
things
it's
like that.
good. I don't care what people say. It's not good not to wear shoes. You should wear shoes.
I mean, over time you can get away with it. Like if you get used to it, it's basically going back to like adaptability. Once you get used to doing that, you'll be fine.
Didn't Talk from Avatar: The Last Airbender not wear shoes?
Yeah, because she couldn't sense the environment around her without it. She uses seismic waves and sound to feel what everything's around her. So it's
I
like
want to do that.
like think of sonar, but like you have to like tap your foot or like you have to make a sound for you to hear what's around you. Because like what ends up happening is like the waves would either so the reason why she's able to see everything is because they come back to her. So like if she makes a sound, it should come back. Like it'll come back to her ear and she's like, all right, that's that far away, or that's that far away. You know, like she'll be able to figure out what's going on. But and also since she's also an earthbender, she also has that seismic ability where she basically could just feel wherever she's at, like through the. But it's kind of cool though because she can feel ants moving, like walking on the ground because of that ability. So
I want to be a waterbender. Yeah, I want to be a waterbender.
that's what they.
I want to be a waterbender.
There's a thing about like birthdays and stuff like that, and they're like saying what bender would you be, and I'm like mine since I'm a Cancer, my sign. They said, oh, you'll be a waterbender. I'm like, oh, okay.
I'd be a Taurus, but like I don't care. I want to be a waterbender.
I'm a Sagittarius, so I'd be a firebender.
Yeah.
But I like airbender though. I do like the airbenders, but I don't like fire. Like I like all of them.
What's not fire? Fire is pretty cool. Like fire is.
Fire are mean though, Kima.
I like the
They
colors.
try to be mean to my people, the waterbenders.
What do you mean?
They are
I'm a
mean to
waterbender.
waterbenders.
We can always put them out, so it's
You know
fine.
what doesn't make any sense in the Legend of Korra? Is that like she had such a hard time with air when she should have been having a hard time with firebending.
No.
That never made sense to
No.
me.
No. You want to know why?
Why?
Here's the thing, though, because like she was already gifted with 3 of them. She already knew how to do fire, earth, and water. But air, since all the monks died,
Yeah.
there was not many airbenders left. Like Aang had
Yeah, but Yang earned waterbending in like less than a year, and she couldn't master airbending.
airbending takes time, you know. Like
I know, but like they're very close to each other on the elemental scale.
yeah,
like,
true, but like you see, it's so funny though, because like Aang, like when you see Aang do it, Aang was able to figure out waterbending in like 2 seconds. You know, like
Yeah, exactly.
He literally picked up water and was like, "Oh, here you go, I'm doing it now." So, like, I'm like,
Yeah, exactly.
Then Katara got jealous because she's just like, "How is he? Why is it so easy for him?"
Because he's the avatar. He's the main
Like
character.
she's sitting here, she's been working on this since she was a child, and then some just random 112-year-old just comes out of nowhere and just starts waterbending, and she's just like, I can't even do that, and you're doing that? Like, well, how are you doing that? I can't even do that.
Freaking me.
Freaking
loser. Did you hear they're making a live action version?
That's like Julie. Like that's like if someone that's like you know how like you've been doing art for so long.
Yeah.
That's like if me just coming. I mean, I kind of did, but not really. But like that's like me coming up and just recreating Mona Lisa with your iPad. You just be like, the fuck, like why? How you this gifted? Like why?
I would be really angry. I would be very, very.
Or I'd be like Julie, becoming amazing at computers. Like computers.
Yeah, no, that's my thing.
I can like start hacking into the government, and Keon's like, "How are you doing all this?" I feel like hacking.
I'm like, oh, I know how you're doing it, but why are you doing it? Are you trying to get caught? Like, first of all, you're messing up.
I'm gonna protect us from the Russians.
I'm like, you forgot to put that slight bit of code in there that that hides your actions. Now they're noticing what you're doing.
No, I put it in your computer so that way I don't think you're doing it.
It would be so cool if you got like your friend's talents for a day and you could switch.
No,
And
God.
like
I could rap.
like what? Like
I could.
He's like, yes, I can rap now. I was like,
I can rap.
that's a great talent.
Dion.
That's a great talent. Yeah, I can rhyme words, even though I've been doing poetry forever. So it's like, of course, it's easy. Like, well,
Yeah, exactly. That's why I would get your talent, and you would. And Vanessa, whose talent would you want? Because you can already
I
draw.
don't know. Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
I can draw too.
It's
She
hard
can draw.
because there's 3 of us, so I guess I would have to try Keon's talent because I kind of have your talent.
So you would rap. So we would both learn how to rap, and Keon would be like the master artist.
But I can already do art.
I mean, you can, but you're not like trained. So you would be like double.
I'm
triple
abstract. Yeah,
You would
that's
be
what it
triple
is.
good. You'd be like levels of Leonardo da Vinci good, and we would be like epic rappers. We'd be like yo yo yo.
That's it. You don't know it. It's like just
Yo.
only one word. That's all I know.
Yo, chips and dip, ginger beer.
Stop it.
And I do a flip.
Do a flip. nice flip.
Oh, do you know what I would have? I could have Keon's strength, so I could like pick anything up, and I could like lift anything. I could lift up.
What? So you're saying you want to have my martial arts skills
Yeah.
as well?
I could beat up bad guys and be like,
You have martial arts skills?
yeah, Keon knows how to
They're
punch.
not the greatest, but just enough to defend myself. You know,
Keon
just
taught me
that.
how to punch bad guys in the face.
You need better form, but it's fine. It's okay. It's like
That's cool.
Yeah. So we can learn how to like beat up bad guys.
yeah, the only
and
problem
stuff.
is I only can roundhouse kick in one side, which is my right side, and my left side I can't
Oh.
kick.
I could
period.
still beat up bad guys.
It's
I could.
like my right leg. Yeah, if you have my right leg, you'd be like, oh my god, this is amazing. My left leg, you'd be like, why can you kick it with this leg? I'm like, this. I don't know. I just
Because it's
can't
not
do
your dominant
it. Exactly.
side.
It's-
That's why.
It's funny though because it's like, oh, like yeah, you think having control of this part it should be on this side. No, it's on this side. This
I don't
is
know
on this
why.
side.
I don't know.
Like
why.
I don't know why. Like we just have things in reverse. For example, like your eyes, same thing. It's like
Yeah,
this eye
yeah.
is here, and then this eye is here. I'm like, why couldn't it just be straightforward? Why you gotta have a crisscross? You know, going
Why?
on.
Well, also, when you look at things, the images aren't normal. Like, you flip them upside down in your eye, and then your brain corrects it so it's right side up.
That's so.
Like, so you actually, it goes into your eye, and it's processing all the images upside down. And then it flips it the other way, so you can see properly.
It's so bizarre. I'll never understand science. I'll never
It's
understand
more like
it.
biology. It's more
I'll
like
never
biology.
understand it. It's too complicated Too much work.
Oh, art isn't complicated, huh?
Art is easy.
Art is
compared to
easy.
Science. Compared to science. I just have
No,
to
I'm pretty sure
express
art
myself.
can be very complex. Like
It
especially
can,
doing
if
paintings.
you're
Like,
talented. Which me and Vanessa.
really,
are.
I've seen a painting that was literally a girl with a heart balloon, and that was sold for like $1.4 million. And the owner who
Was
made
it by
it,
Banksy?
and the owner who made it had a rig shredder
Yeah, that's
on the.
Banksy.
Yeah, it's like,
He's supposed to make us question society.
it's,
But like it's hard for him because he has to keep his identity a secret. So he can't do anything cool.
There was a guy who's taking people's Instagram pictures and making them art.
Oh, yeah,
and selling it for like thousands and
Oh
thousands
yeah,
of dollars.
oh yeah. Like and he's like,
And
oh no,
that
this
was
is art.
really, really crazy because people
Yeah.
start getting mad. They're like, "Why are you taking the image of me and just like selling it for thousands of dollars?"
It's art, and I can do it.
And like, it's really weird.
I mean, but it's like at the same time, it's like, can you draw yourself?
Yeah.
No. So it's like, so there's that. There's
Well,
that
he wasn't
problem.
drawing them. He was just taking
He was a
snapshots.
photographer, and so he took their images, took
Oh, he
pictures.
brightened them
He
up.
like
No.
he made a statement under them, like saying like, "Oh, nice this and this," and then he took a picture of all of that and his like statement. And because he stated something, he can sell it for thousands of dollars. I guess is what he was thinking. Cause like, oh well, I like changed it and
Yeah.
made it different because I
He
made it
didn't really
different.
change
It's mine now. And it's like kind of like questionable.
It's kind of like a.
And it's just annoying. It's
It's
like whatever.
like he took a
dude.
snapshot
Yeah,
of what
like,
someone
seriously.
did, and then he wrote a couple letters underneath it, and he's like, "It's my own art now."
It's like, are you really that petty, like
Yeah.
famous guy to like steal people's Instagram images and sell them?
I mean, hey, like he's making $1 billion. Like, what do we got? He has like billion, you know.
$9 billion, but relax. It's like,
Yeah.
but it's
No,
like
he
it
was
still
really-
takes
Yeah.
time to do things like that. Like it's not gonna be like an easy.
He just. Oh yeah. Well, he did have to print them out. He did have to. Oh, someone's in the chat. Someone's in the chat. Someone's in the chat. Who's in the chat, Keon? Who's in there? Who's in there?
Oh no, it's just like you want to become famous by followers Prime
Oh,
and
freaking
viewer
bots.
on big followers.
I want to be famous. Oh, it's just a stupid unwanted sex. Who named? Why would that be someone stupid? Oh my God, it's so
I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to say that, but okay, Julie. It's like
XU.
now we're gonna
this
get kicked.
is
Now we're gonna
dumb.
get kicked off Twitch. Great.
You know
now.
what? You know what? You can't censor freedom of speech, mister.
Yeah,
My
but
right.
now we're gonna get kicked off
As an American.
Twitch because but Twitch is a private platform, so they can do whatever they want.
Crap. Where's my American music?
American music.
I'm gonna make a
What
speech in
happened?
American.
Oh no,
They're
it's
saying
just,
I can't say the SEISE.
no, it's not. You can't say it. It's just that it's a private platform, so like
Yeah.
they have their restrictions on what you can
Wait,
say.
we didn't talk about that.
No, we didn't. But I'm just saying, like she said the name that because like was it what happens? A Twitch bot will show up on like the stream. Like if you say something inappropriate, they'll like take off the stream. I'm like, I didn't even do that, But it's like you got to be like very careful.
I need to.
What
I'm
you
trying,
saying?
I'm trying to play my American patriotic music. Play
Well,
music.
I can't blame you for playing that. It's always nice to listen
I
to.
wanna try to play. Maybe she's going. Here you go. It's my right
It's no,
as an
there's no,
American.
the mic is not even
Say-
on. It's not even plugged in, Joey.
It's my right as an American to play whatever I want, to say whatever swears I want, as long as they're not too bad. They can't be tier S swears, but they can be below A swears. It's my right as an American to say whatever I want on my platform, whether you like it or not. And you can't censor me, because I'll sue you. Isn't that wonderful?
Okay, you're gonna censor people now.
No,
Okay.
and you can't censor the truth Twitch that you have robots on your platform with SEX
Yeah,
in their
I'm pretty sure
name.
Twitch can't have one person per each stream. There's millions of streams going on right now as we speak, so therefore they don't have millions of people on standby
Exactly.
just to be like, hey, let me
You
just
can't censor all of us. You can't censor millions of people under the name of the flag of America.
This is a lot. Anyway.
Okay, we're gonna go back there.
This, I'm like, Julie does this a lot. We just
I
let it
just,
slide.
they just accept it.
They just accept it.
I think I kind of paused this. Okay. Okay, there you go.
There you go. We're back
There
to
you go.
normal
We're
now.
back
We're
to
not.
normal. So what else should we talk about?
Uh.
Do you want to talk about OnlyFans?
Oh, how they're banning that. They're
No,
banning.
but then they switched back and said, actually, we're not banning it anymore. So they doubled down. They doubled down.
I mean,
Being
they're
honest.
still getting rid of like that adult content on it because like they need it because like they have bank partners and business partners that don't like that, so they're just like, all right, if we can get rid of them, we can actually get more of the money that we needed for this.
Oh no, but then they doubled down and they said they're not doing that.
No, they're getting rid of it on I think it was October or something like that.
No. They said they weren't going to do that though. They canceled it.
What they're working not I'm talking about not banning it, but they're gonna ban freaking like they're gonna ban like the adult content on it. Like they're
Yeah,
gonna
they said they were going to do that and then they stopped.
you know what I think why that happened? I'm pretty sure a lot of like females were like, no, that's my
So they
only
were
income!
actually.
That's my only
They
income!"
actually only have to pay 20% for their or the 30. I think it was 30. They have to pay a really low percentage of their cuts compared to YouTubers. So some people were saying that maybe Twitch can't make enough money because their cuts they take are really low.
No, but like because YouTube it's a 45-55 split. So like,
Yeah.
you keep 55, they take 45 from you.
Yeah.
But it's like at the same time, it's like. I mean, I get why, but like, there's been a lot of like problems that circulated because of this. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like it's. I mean, I get it. Like, if you want to do that, go ahead and do that. But like, a lot more people. Like, there's been a lot of more like situations where like people are like getting taken advantage of.
Oh,
and,
definitely.
like people are like, what's it like? For example, like some people like they end up paying for more than they asked for, type thing. Like like then all that stuff, and then like sometimes like.
Yeah,
Like,
I get that.
Yeah, sometimes like it just gets weird real fast because like there'll be that one person that's just obsessed and doesn't want to give up and they'll just continuously keep trying with just one person, So it's like there's that, but it's like at the same time it's like why did they stop? Like how come they didn't stop for the bank partners? I mean, honestly, like financially speaking, it's a good idea, but at the same time, I can see why that happened because there's a lot of people that probably got mad about
Oh,
that.
they did. They all complained on Twitter. They're like, we want. What was it? They wanted like some like money thing called like a swearing. They want servances. They wanted Twitch to give everybody like $4 million or something. I don't know, some weird thing. Everyone was like being like, give us more money if you're gonna kick us off OnlyFans, cause we want money. You don't give us enough money, and they all live in like $1 billion houses because they're all.
No,
like,
but see, the thing about it is because not many people. Okay, so this is what like when you keep saying, "Oh, are we rich and famous yet?" Like here's the thing about here's the fear that I have with that. It's like you understand, like if you're gonna be wealthy, you have to live below your means. Like you can't be like, "Oh, let me have this mansion," because if you can't afford said mansion over 10 years, you're gonna lose it. So it's like you better live below your means to keep the money as long as possible.
Yeah.
And to keep circulating by investing and making even more money instead of like trying to live that high fast life. I get that, but it's like you kind of have to work up to it. There's levels to this. There's a reason why like rich people have this like lifestyle. Like most of the time, like for some smart rich people, it's because they live like that because it's only 10% of their income, so they can get away with living like that because it's only 10%.
Really?
Yeah.
What? It's
Like,
10% to go on those.
Like if you're a billionaire and you have like $1 million house, that's like what? That's nothing. So you're just like, oh, I'm gonna just live here. I don't need a $2 billion house. I don't need like a $200 million house.
That's not fair.
I just need something that's like about 10% of my income. That way I could just live here forever and not lose it, and also I could just donate to any art museum and just not pay taxes while I'm at it, because that's how it works.
That's so
To stay rich, you have to really be good at managing your money.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And also just get, like, people win the lottery. They get a bunch of money.
And they don't know what
just
to do.
spend it.
They just spend it immediately. They don't know how to like keep it in their pocket. Like Like there's a reason like was it like a lot of rich people came came from nothing, but at the same time they were smart enough to say, hey, since I grew up with nothing, let me not try to go back there. Let me try to like keep this money as long as I can.
Yeah, most
Let me invest in property. Let me
millionaires
invest in
are
stocks. Let me invest in all this other stuff to keep my money up. That way I never lose.
You know what was really funny was that like these what was it? They're called like it's like this clip. I haven't seen the show, but I saw this clip of like these e-girls, and they had their own show. And they had an economist on, a professional economist, and he's like, "Listen, this platform hasn't even been on 10 years. What else are you guys investing?"
Wait! I think I need to talk about.
Yeah.
Is it the Is it? I forget. It's like something room podcast.
It was like the e-girl something, e something.
Oh, no, never mind. Okay, never mind.
He was talking to these girls. He's like, "This, you guys haven't been on this platform for like 10 years. What else are you guys investing in?" And they're like, "Well, Twitch hasn't been on for more than 10 years, so we're investing in like makeup and stuff." And he's like, "No, you're not. You're missing the point of what I'm trying to tell you."
No, was it like that? I heard there's another podcast. I forget what the podcast name was, but like there was these 3 girls that were on it, and they were. At first, well, see, the thing is, like, this is, like, beginning when it was starting, so, like, a lot of girls being disrespectful towards this podcast. But, like, so, like, some of them would be like, oh, but it's, like, I'm successful, I make money, it's fine, like, I'm successful, I'll stay successful. And then, like, people, like, men that have been doing this for 20, 30, 40 years are saying, hey, this hasn't been around long enough. What are you doing with this money? Are you just spending this money, or are you keeping it? Are you trying to keep this money and circulate it around? Yeah. And some of them are like, That's none of your business. That's how much I make. It doesn't matter how much money I make. It's none of your business. You don't need to know how much I make.
God.
But I'm like, but here's the thing though. It's like, okay, you're successful now, but this is a temporary success. This is not like this ain't gonna last forever. Like this is like people keep thinking like OnlyFans is like this fountain of money that they could just keep pulling from. It's like no, eventually it's gonna stop. Yeah. When it stops, what are you gonna do? You know? Yeah. It's like it's kind of like that water well. Like you can keep pulling water from it, but eventually it's gonna run out. There's not gonna, the water's gonna dry up. The well's gonna dry up. So what are you gonna do when the well dries up? You're gonna sit there and wait for it to come back? It's not coming back. Or you're gonna find another well.
Oh, they could just start their own porn business. They could do that. I mean, hey.
That's why it's good to invest in multiple things instead of just throwing money into one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like don't put all your eggs in one basket. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I don't understand that about people sometimes. Like, the internet now just makes anybody be rich. It's so weird. It'll just be random people.
Not necessarily, like, people, like, so it's like this. There's a lot of, deception going on, like, nowadays, especially with social media, because, like, people, like, they appear to be living rich lifestyles, but in reality, they're homeless.
Oh, yeah.
It's just that, People like was it like you can't compare your life to people in life's in Instagram because Instagram is the highlights of their life. It's not their actual life. Like it's not their
filters.
Yeah,
and
it's
all
like
sorts of stuff.
Like that's not them. That's not them all the time. You know, that's them on a vacation. Like how often do they go on vacation? I mean, they took so many photos that they could have a photo for each day of the year, but still, like they don't live that way 100% of the time.
But also, you have to be careful because people who act like and try to live that way one time, and then they get people to like it and people to give them money and fund it, then they'll actually live that way all the time.
Yeah, then
that's like could be a problem because it's not necessarily healthy. And then you have all these people that aren't healthy. And people just give them money and watch them like, oh, it's great, yay, and then they're not. Their life actually isn't really as good as you think, even though they're always living in a way that you think is cool.
They're not like K-pop stars, except they're not like really in control of anything.
No, K-pop's like one of the it's one of the a lot of this happens to pretty much any group, like any boy band or any singing group or anything like that. Any type of group, like labels like to capitalize on groups. Like they'll literally they'll make and also they always try to find groups that are like 16-year-olds or like 18. People that are very young and naive to like contracts and how business and how it works because they can get away with giving them like, oh, here's your contract for we're gonna give you an advance of $1 million.
Yeah, they did that here too.
You're on this contract for 5 years and guess what? You get no royalties for your songs. We tell you when you go on tour. We tell you what you wear. We tell you what songs you have to make. We tell you what interviews you have to go on. We tell you everything you do. We tell like that. That's
why I can never get behind K-pop, because I know like all those people are being really mistreated.
Yeah, they're being controlled.
Like, yeah, like some of them I feel like the older ones are okay because they've
been around the block. They
but
know
like
when a bad deal's a bad
BTS,
deal.
I'm so worried about them. I'm like, are they okay?
Didn't they sign like a contract and now they have to do whatever?
Yeah.
They tell them to, like, for like a long, like how many years? Like
5 years, like something.
Like I would be like, I'd be so worried about them.
That's why I'm like. That's why I'm like on the. That's why I like having the independent route. I'm like, let's be independent. Let's not do.
Yeah, I was like same with like comic book industry. Like they want you to draw what they want to draw.
Yeah.
Even if it's bad, I'm like, I'm not drawing crap if it's not.
But like
good.
they control your life with like K-pop stuff. Like
Yeah.
you can't eat certain. Like they won't let you eat certain things. They won't let you eat enough too.
Yeah, like you're all starving 24/7.
And like if
And then
they
there's
don't
the- and
like
then-
your
and then-
face, they'll tell you to change it.
And then you wonder why a lot of them end up collapsing mid-performance or collapsing mid.
And I don't know why the
They
fans.
don't even get to sleep as often as.
I don't know why the fans are letting it slide too, because you have all these K-pop fans.
Well, I mean, what can the fans do? They already felt they're in the trap themselves. They're in a trap themselves as well, because like some fans think, oh, if I'm around these people a lot more, I can beat them. It's like not necessarily, it doesn't work like that. But it's like it's weird because like a lot of artists fall for that trap, but then there's a lot of artists that don't fall for the trap, and then like they don't end up getting anywhere because they're just like, well, I'm not getting promoted by anybody. Like there's pros and cons to both sides, but it's just like.
Yeah, I don't know.
You much rather want to go independent because you have control of what you say and do and what you want to do. You basically have control of your brand, but at the same time, it's like now since you have control of your brand, you have to be way more cautious and careful on what you say and do. But at the label, it's super easy for them because it's like, oh, just here's what you say and here's what you do. It's like super easy, but at the same time, it's like, do you want to be controlled or do you want to be free? Like which one you want?
Yeah,
There's no health. There's no balance between the two like that. You can't really have one. It's either one or the other in that situation.
I think people need to teach art. I'm sort of happy I'm an illustration major, although I complain about it constantly. Because all my teachers make it very clear that you have to get paid and you need a contract. They really do try to teach you that when you're an illustration major. They're really like, you have to have a contract and you don't draw anything until you have a contract saying you'll get paid. Although I'm very bad at doing that, but. Like they still teach that to you, which I think is very good. Like you gotta get paid. You don't work for free. You don't underpay yourself. Don't do that stupid thing where you go on Instagram and you charge $20 for a commission. I don't even know what that is. Like people will like have you draw their OCs for $20 or something. I don't know. It's like it's not good. I don't think people.
I mean, but it's the thing though. Like you also gotta realize what level you are at when doing things like this. Like when it comes to doing things, like have you been doing it for a long time?
Yeah.
Like if you've been doing it for a long time, you should be getting paid more.
Yeah.
But if you just started, you should probably be getting paid that. You should probably take that $20 thing because you're not really that experienced, and also $20, it's easy drawings. It's like you're not doing anything complicated.
It depends
But
on what the minimum is for stuff like that. Like Julie, for her contract with someone, she had to look up what the minimum payment was normally in actual manga. Like when people make manga books. Like you should tell them about it.
Yeah. Well, so I don't know if the things.
Wait, is it the book that you have to print out?
No, it's like well originally I don't even know if this project is going to go through because he wants me to draw an entire manga book for him. So to get the job, I did have to give him some of my artwork at first. But then I was realizing how much money would be going into this thing, and I'm like, he's going to have to pay me at some point. So I made a contract. And he's getting it checked out by his uncle, who's a lawyer or something. But then he's saying he's getting checked out by another lawyer. So I don't know if it's gonna. But yeah, it is important though, because figure the minimum amount a comic book person gets paid for drawing the entire page can range from $70 to over $100, depending on where you work. So my minimum was that when I calculated it and everything, my minimum was about $50. Because I'm not doing anything in color, but I'm doing the entire page. So let's just say you have a 20-chapter comic book. and each page is $50 because I'm doing everything.
How many
I'm not
pages
just
is it? Like what, 200? That's
yeah. And then you got a big book. You want me to make like a huge book that's like one volume. That's like a lot of money.
yeah.
That's like a lot of money. So you wanna. So I don't think people. But like that's not. But I'm not even charging like even a lot because I'm not because like.
Yeah, but 50 times 200. That's still
That's still
$10,000 right there. You know,
Yeah,
like
but like
that's still.
it's a lot. But like that's like I'm like doing everything. I'm doing the lettering. I'm doing the inking, and I'm doing the
And you're
thumbnails.
doing multiple drawings and
Yeah.
tries and like making it better. Like it's
Yeah.
like you're doing sketches too.
Yeah,
And
so-
then making a final.
Yeah, so my plan, but like I don't even know if the project's gonna go through yet because right now it's frozen because he realized like also he was a creative writing major, which I'm actually very
Yeah, I'm
disappointed
like
in the creative
that's
writing
the thing though.
department.
It's like if it's like think about it like this, right? So like think of it in his perspective. Like he has to get someone to draw it. So that's $10,000 just for you to draw the book. That's not
But
even
I'm gonna have
publishing. That's not even like making more of these books. That's not even mass production of these books.
Yeah.
It's literally just to make one book. It costs $10,000. So
Yeah.
he's just like how is he gonna do this without
Well,
like?
we were planning on like starting a web series online because first he was like, oh, I want to publish it on Show No Jump, and I'm like, yeah, but we don't even know if they want to take the project yet. There's no guarantee of that. So I was looking it up, and a lot of like Viz Media originals already have a previous fan base behind it.
Yeah.
They already have. So they weren't just publishing it because it was good. They published it because there was already a fan base.
Yeah,
behind it.
like you have to go on like Webtoon or something.
Yeah,
and,
so
like, get
I
a-
had
get a
it.
following
Yeah.
on Webtoon, and then after
I don't
like
like
you get some hype.
But
And
like,
after you get
I
that-
know what you mean though. Yeah. So like so we were trying. What we were gonna do after we released the first chapter was like try to post it online and start a Patreon
Yeah.
or something. Maybe not Kickstarter because I hear Kickstarter's doing some really bad stuff lately, and I'm not into that. But
You could even like when I was like looking at online comics and stuff. Like I know this isn't a comic, but they release pages like over a long period of time. Like they'll release a page, then people start to like it, and they're like, "Oh well, I want the next page." And then if you keep doing it like that, you'll have people hooked on the whole time you're like making the book. And then once everyone really likes it at the end, then you can be like, "Okay, well you can buy it."
you can buy it and own it.
Yeah, and then it won't be like you're just like doing something and then you finish making the book and you're like, well, what if no one's gonna pay me to pay for all expenses of making it? You could do it like throughout the whole process.
Yeah, and I was looking up the royalties about like the average amount of royalties like a writer will make from buying a book. Like this is just like by the writer making a book. Like they get 10%
Of
of
whatever.
the royalties. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? So I was showing him the math. I'm like, listen, we're only gonna make this amount of money if we actually publish this, and then we have to divide that by 2 because I'm like around 2, you know, like because I'm like drawing half of it and you're writing half
are
of it.
mostly like all the
Yeah.
art. And,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the words too. It's like
I mean, like he's a very good writer. He's very good at his job. He like he just needs someone to help him draw.
Yeah.
Which is but I think what I'm saying the creative writing department needs to teach their like writers that like you need to make contracts with them and stuff because
I get that, but it's like there's that. But it's like he didn't. I'm pretty sure he didn't realize it was going to cost him $10,000 to make a whole book. You know, he didn't realize that. So
Yeah,
he was
he
like,
didn't.
he thought it was going to be like, oh, it's probably going to be like $1,000. I could easily give him that.
it's like no, it's like money doesn't. I mean like he's very good though. He's a very nice person. I don't want to be like he's very. I like working with him too.
Well, you just woke him up to how much it really is going to be.
Yeah, I think I sort of like made him like listen. This is gonna be like a business investment. If you, and he really wants to get it published too.
Like,
but I don't know if it's gonna happen.
It would be part of your career. I feel like if you tried to make a book right now. Like, I feel like that would be like a start off to like you guys doing a career and that stuff.
Yeah, I actually still have to finish my mom's book. I have to finish my mom's children's book, Trudy Capote. Trudy Capote!
But your mom wanted a book too?
Yeah, except she's like my mom.
Yeah, you can't.
I can't really.
Can't ask her to pay you. Like
it would just be like automatic. But like, I finally finished the whole thing. I finally finished it. I gave it to her, and she's like, "I don't like this page, and I don't like this page because she looks like she's murdering someone in this page." I'm like, I'm like, no, that's I forgot.
Hey, listen, okay, you're trying a book for your mother, okay? She wants the book how she wants the book. You can't get mad at her because she wants the book.
I gotta just do it. I just have to do it. I just have to make a new cover, but I don't want to make a new cover because I don't.
Well, when you get it printed, you should be able to make money off of it, and then you can give part of it to your mom as
You
like
just-
a Mother's Day.
Yeah.
No, not even that. I'm pretty sure her mom's gonna end up. I'm pretty sure your mom's gonna end up publishing that book, if I'm not mistaken.
She's probably gonna post.
Yeah,
She's probably gonna take that book from you and be like, "Hey, nah, I'm making most of the money here.
Yeah.
What do you think this is?"
She wrote. Yeah, she drew it when she actually came up with the idea. I think when she had me. So it's like partly based off of me, like Ellie's in it, my little stuffed animals in it, and like trees like running around with Ellie, and then like it's just, and then like she has like and then like sometimes she looks like sort of anime, and my mom's like, why does she look like she's an anime character? I'm like, cause she is an anime character. She should be. And my mom's like, I don't like it. I know. My mom's a picky client. She's very picky.
Whoa,
You should have her do.
Really, it's your job to be picky. I don't want to be like me, but it's her
Have
job.
her do like a mood board where she goes online, finds all the pictures that fit the mood she wants, and then you'll be like, okay, this is the mood, this is the look, and then you like try to do it or something.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully,
That's just a lot of work. Like you think it's so funny. Like it's like it was a songwriting and like song making. It's literally like same thing, but it's like instead of eyes, it's ears, and like it takes a lot more work than people think. People think, oh, it's just you just find a beat and put something over on top of it. It's like, no.
Yeah,
it's
you gotta know
like,
math.
You gotta not even that. Like you gotta know. You gotta know what you gotta know what BPM you're on. You gotta know what rhythm and flow to rap over with. You gotta know like what are you making. Like you can't just be like making random things.
Yeah.
You gotta stick to a genre. I mean, unless you want to break that genre, which is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
People do that all the time.
It's so annoying when like I haven't really made music, but like just like when I'm sort of making up music during the day, just in my head, like humming or something, and like
Yeah,
I
you
can't-
think it sounds amazing in your head, but you try to put it on the computer. You're like, the heck, what is
But
this?
also, you'll realize like you're making noises like stuff from like what you've already heard, and it's like really annoying because like you want to make something different, but you feel like you're just saying the culmination of like all these different things. But you think it's original, and it's like
It's think about it. It's like
It's really
nothing under the sun is original. Everything has
Yeah.
already been done. It's just that either one, it hasn't been discovered yet, or two, the person who did it just didn't care. You know, it just happens. Like everybody's done it already once, at least once. But at the same time, we also have just things that we haven't done. Period.
Yeah.
But it's just at the same time. It's like it's funny though. When it comes to music, it's like pretty much everything has been done already. Like besides abstract like dubstep and besides like stuff like random sounds where like someone takes like a frog and makes it sound like completely different, or like someone will take like that air conditioning and then like make it like a rumbling like bass noise. You should be like, how the hell did you do that? But like
oh
you
yeah, that's so cool.
You should do that, Keon.
I can, but it's just that it's a lot of work.
Okay.
It's like sound engineering is not easy.
In animation, I had to do like an audition class, like making sounds for movies and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was really cool, but I still have like I hate so much like when I try to make an animation, and then it's like I need to get sounds because my school's like you have to make original sounds, you have to figure it out. So
can
like
help you with
we go to make original sounds, and I like try all these different things, and I think I'm doing good, and I get the sound, and then I like put it into the animation, and I think okay, it's okay, it's like, not perfect, and then I show it to the animation teachers, and they're like, this is not good enough, and there's like other people with like perfect sound, like how did you make that sound? Like, I literally like did you make this sound? So I'm like,
That's not your
I can help with that if you need. I can help with
you could ask Keon for help.
I should.
You should. You should.
Yeah.
Okay, why are there so
I don't know everything, Julie. You gotta understand. I don't know
You
everything.
don't know everything
I
yet.
don't know everything, Julie. I'm not
What?
My IQ's at a 199. Okay, it's probably like a 120, but that's the size.
What's my IQ?
I don't know. What's that?
How do you measure mine?
You have to take a test, but like the test is like weird because like comparing. Okay, so the thing about comparing IQs, it's kind of skewed because like it changes every year. Because what you need to know each year is different than the last. So like back then, like 200 IQ, like say like 300 years ago, like 200 IQs. Oh, can you build a boat? with no problem, or
Oh
oh,
my
can you build a
God.
gun with no problem,
That's
or oh,
so
can you
weird.
make a fire without burning the house down? Now it's like, okay, do you know how to do aerophysics? You're like, what? You're like, what?
Yeah.
What? Do you know how to do space? Can you understand space travel? You're just like, no. It's like,
You're like,
no.
no.
Can you understand physics? Can you understand astrophysics? You're like,
No.
what is this? You sit there thinking, you're like, no.
Did you actually get to do one before?
No, yeah, but it's like it gets complicated towards the end. In the beginning, it's pretty simple. It's like, all right, what's 2 plus 2? 4. What's 2 times 6? 12. You're like, okay, this is easy. Then you get to the end. It's like, what is the law of this certain rule and this certain page in this book? You're like, I never read that book. I don't know
Like, how
that.
would you know that?
Like, I don't know that. It's like,
Like,
they're like, okay, what law? What is this law called? Where something that's in motion tends to stay in motion. I'm like, oh, I know that law, but that's the law of motion. But they're like, yeah, but where did it come from? Who did it?
I
Like,
knew
and how many people were behind this?
Oh my gosh.
you're
I
just
forgot
like-
the guy's name.
it's Newton.
Oh yeah. Whoops.
He had the
Julie's gonna do good on the IQ.
I'm gonna be a 200.
But who knows? Like, you might end up getting like an art question. You just know everything about. You're like, oh yeah, I know this, bro. It's like, who made?
Oh yeah, I know a lot about questions.
It's like this, who made the Screaming Man? You're like, oh, I know exactly who made the Screaming Man. It's like,
Woods. He had a crazy girlfriend. Did you know that?
Mhm.
And then, like, I think he had a crazy stalker girlfriend.
Wait, didn't Picasso make something similar? Like, wasn't it one where like the guy was like this? He was like it was like,
Maybe.
it was
The
like,
screaming guy?
yeah, I think it was
Yeah,
something
the
like
screaming man, like where he's on the bridge and it's like he's
Yeah.
screaming.
That's not Picasso. I think that's a Munch.
Yeah, it was him. Yeah.
It was Picasso?
No, it was the Munch guy.
Yeah, it
you
was a Munch
said.
guy, yeah.
that. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure
Actually,
Picasso made something similar. Like, where one guy was like, he was like, ah, like it was like it literally just had him like, he had both his hands on his face, and he was just like, and it's like,
They
yeah.
were dealing with a lot of drama back then. Picasso.
Yeah, but you realize really quickly, like you kind of have to have a little bit of a skewed life to make art
Pretty much,
in a way. Because if you have a normal life, you don't really make artist things like that. You're kind of just like, more of the way it is.
Yeah,
But like
pretty
when you've gone through some stuff, you just take that emotion and pain and just
yeah,
on the
pretty
paper
much.
it goes, or on the soundtrack
I
it
have
goes.
yet
You
to
know?
see. Oh, actually, yeah, he did do another version of it.
Yeah,
He
that
did his
one.
own
He did
version.
multiple versions of the Screaming Man. Same guy.
I think that's how he feels. But like that guy, he has a lot of depression and stuff. I remember he had like a crazy girlfriend. I think his sister died. I think he went to Modest. I don't know. He had a crazy life.
No, it's so funny. Like you see the evolution of art. It goes from carvings from on a cave
Yeah.
to like weird human drawings that like of like knights in armor
Yeah.
to like abstract pieces like that, and now we're this.
Yeah.
Now we have color. That's all we need now.
Yeah.
now we need the psychedelic
People say
effects.
it might be because like art used to be used for like religious reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're mostly like just illustrations, and then after like people were less religious, they were able to go crazy with it.
It's,
You know, like originally art was just like I think photography too, because with photography you didn't have to draw anything realistically anymore. You could just like people still did, but like
Wait,
now
wasn't it,
photography is so good.
I think there was this one photographer. He was a farmer, and he had basically asked his parents to like get him this camera, but it was like $100 at the time, and that was a lot of money back then. So they had to like save up, and once he got the camera, he started taking pictures of snowflakes, and he started realizing.
I love that guy. What's
Is
his name?
It's like he started realizing, oh wait, each snowflake is different. No snowflake's the same. You know? And you see some of these pictures, you're like, oh wow, a snowflake actually looks like that. You know, it's like you see how like the ice like crystallizes into this shape and in this form.
It's so
And I'm just
cool.
thinking, I'm just thinking, I'm like, what if there was jewelry pieces like this? Like, what if like you could find like a rock, like a mineral rock, like that looks just like that. Like it just crystallized in that form, and you just like were like, oh, that's pretty nice.
I want a jewelry like that. I think they should give me.
I mean, like we can replicate things like that, but it's like there's nothing naturally occurring where like a diamond will form like that.
That's true.
It's just a diamond's just a block of rock that you cut and trim down to make
Yeah.
look cool, you know? Like at first it just looks like a normal rock, but like once you cut it and trim it and clean it, it looks like this pretty little diamond that everyone's like, oh, this is a diamond. But at first, it's like just a little white rock that's like that looks bad.
Yeah, it was just like put under a lot of
Yeah.
pressure and it made it into a diamond.
It's all carbon. It's like just carbon just in a unified structure. It's like they're like, oh, you could turn coal into diamond. I'm like, no, you can't because of
No, you
imperfections. But you can if you have enough. If you had enough energy to compress the carbon atoms to form a crystalline structure. But that's very hard to do, and like I don't think we have that power yet. But like, what was it? I was watching this video talking. It was talking about like type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4, type 5, type 6 civilizations. And basically, I'm gonna tell you like this: Type 1, we have all the energy. We can harness the energy of the entire planet. Type 6, we can harness the energy of the universe.
What?
Wait, what?
So think about that.
Is this for,
Like-
this? How
What?
did they come up with this?
No, it's like what was it? So like, the reason why I think we come up with this is because like Type 1 is basically like okay, like Type 1 is when we're like off in space. We're not using coal anymore. We're using solar power and other energy sources. We're using like the waves and all that other stuff. We're basically just harnessing all of energy in the planet. And then what happens is we get to 2 where we basically take the planet energy and we're like, all right, let's start making more energy from the solar system. So we'll start using the sun, Saturn, Mars as our energy source. And then after we get to that point, we're like, we got all this power. You know what? Let's try taking over the galaxy, and we can do that, and we can just we can harness the power of the galaxy, and then it's gonna get to the point where we're gonna harness the power of a supercluster, and then the supercluster turns to it gets very complicated very fast. So, but here's the thing though: by the time we get to Type 2, I think what would happen is I think we might blow ourselves up because like there might be that one power hungry guy that's like I want more,
Of course.
and then like he's gonna try to take over everything. And then it's going to be like we're going to be fighting each other, and then there's never going to be like a balance. But granted, like everybody would have access to energy. Like there'll no longer be electricity bill because guess what? You could just basically get energy from anywhere now. But it's like the weird problem is like people are kind of afraid of like one big corporation taking over all of that and then trying to monetize that. Because, someone made a law saying, "Hey, you can't own space," but then people are like, "No, but you can," and it gets like this it gets very complicated very fast.
Oh my God.
But like, if we get to Type 4 like civilization, we're basically gods because like we don't need to eat anymore. We can travel to any planet we want. We can just do whatever we want. By the time we get to Type 4, it's just
That's not good. That's not good for anyone. I'm gonna
But
tell
it'd be
you.
kind of cool though, because you'd be living like that Rick and Morty type of life where you basically could just fly to like any planet you feel like, and you just like get whatever you want from that planet, and then just go back to your home like nothing ever happened. But then like you're gonna start discovering like
Or
dimension.
maybe your home is a ship. It just goes anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. It goes anywhere you want. But like this is the thing though, like if we start learning that much energy, like physics will change, our understanding of life would change, our understanding of everything will just be completely different than what we think now because right now we're kind of like powerless. Like we can make these things, but it takes a lot of energy and time and effort to do so. But if we actually get to the ability where it's like, all right, we have enough energy to where we could just make anything appear like that. Like it's gonna get to the point. Like if we get to like Type 2, we can start making storms out of will. Like
What?
We can be like, you know what? We want rain today. Rain, like rain comes out of nowhere. Or like, you know what? We want a tornado. Tornado formed. Like that stuff will get to the point where you can just make anything you want. Like think about it. Like just think about it like this way. You'd be like, you know what? I want a guitar. Guitar appeared because you have the energy to make it. So it's just like you're like, do you want to do that? Do you want to go through all that? Do you want to be that? Do you want to have that ability to do so?
Is probably going to be ourselves.
Yeah. Like
Because we
honestly-
already have weapons right now.
Yeah, and
that
imagine
destroy
like
the world.
imagine like having all that energy. We could just be like, you know what? Goodbye, planet. It's gone.
You would just end up murdering each other.
That's what I'm saying. We'll just end up blowing ourselves up
I
because
don't like people, Dion. I don't trust them.
we don't trust
One thing I learned from 2020 that people are very dumb and stupid.
them.
You can't
Oh,
trust.
God.
They're so. I can't. Star Market. I don't know why. All the stupidest people in the world go to Star Market. someone threw a zucchini at my manager because
Zucchini.
they threw a zucchini at her because she was mad about the sale on the peaches. I don't understand. Like, guys,
I don't know why they do that. Like,
it's like they
customers,
freak out.
no, customers get mad over the dumbest thing. Like, some customer got mad at me because they're like, the sale price was here yesterday. Why is it different now?
Oh
I'm
my
like, because
God.
the sale price ended yesterday.
It's Friday. It changes. So, what is it? This woman, she was nice to me. She was really, but like she was so angry at the sale on the cat food. Like, so each cat food was like 75 cents, right?
Mm.
And she said that the sign on the cat food thing was like 9 for $6.60, and she bought 18 cat foods. So I did the math, and she got $13.80, which is $6.50
Okay,
times
you got
2.
something different.
It's like, yeah. So like, what I was trying to tell her was that like that wasn't the sale price. That was the actual price of the cat food.
Mm.
And then she's like, well, there's another sale 9 for like
But
10 for
other-
$9.90.
There's
And
all.
then then that was about $8 for 9 cat foods. So I don't know what she wants.
No, but see, you gotta also understand, like, sometimes customers try to pull a fast one on you.
They do. Yeah.
Like, they'll
all the time.
try to be like, oh, this is on sale, but it was never on sale.
It was never on sale.
But they try to make it seem like it's on sale
Oh my
so they
God,
can get
yeah.
away with it. And like, because what they want, they just don't want to pay for it. So they're just trying to find a way to get it without paying for it, which is like, really? But it's like, yeah, it's
We
crazy.
have a guy that comes in at my work all the time, and like we have like a fresh to go section and a register section. I work at the register section, and he'll try to buy stuff at the register and then go over to the other section to get sandwiches, but he doesn't actually buy them over there. He tells you he's gonna buy them over there, but he says, "Oh no, I'm really gonna buy it over there," and he like tells each of the places that he's gonna buy at the other place, but really he just walks out without paying. I know that's kind of confusing, but like
I know, yeah.
Oh yeah, he basically he
he tries to confuse you,
trickery.
and like everyone knows he steals. Like
Yeah.
he wears the same shirt every day he walks in. Like he has a shirt where on the back it says Hero 2020. Like I don't know why he says 2020 is like our hero, but like he has a shirt that says Hero 2020 on the back.
It is sociopath.
And like he comes in
Why is everybody a sociopath with you?
and he's
It
just
is
like
sociopath.
tries to trick you, and he puts his coffees over. Like he goes to try to buy his coffees, but he intentionally doesn't bring them over. And he's like, I have this amount of coffees, and they're over there. And I'm like, okay, well why are they over there? And he's like, well I'm getting
Just kick 'em
sandwiches
out.
over there, and
Just
I'm
kick them
paying.
out.
Yeah, so like he's really annoying, and like you don't let him leave. You're like you have to buy it here, and that's it. You know,
Like, you have to
you
buy
have
it
to buy
here
it at one
in
spot.
front of me,
Mhm.
or else I'm calling the police.
Yeah,
That's the thing about customers who steal. They're so bad at it.
yeah,
I don't
it's really,
understand.
really bad. Like it's obvious.
Did I ever tell you guys this story? One time,
It's so funny, like, people don't realize how easy it is to actually do it, but it's like at the same time, it's
Yeah.
like people overdo it. You know, it's like people are like,
I would
oh yeah.
just like grab something off the shelf, like put it in my like when no one's looking, put it in my purse. Like, if I was gonna steal, I never do because I think it's dumb.
But if you're gonna do that, at least show up with something so it doesn't look suspicious.
Yeah, like at least I'm
Like, at least
yeah.
like bring something to the counter so that way they're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, he actually picked that up and brought it to the counter,
Yeah.
rather than be
Yeah.
like, oh, wait, he just picked up something from the shelf and walked away. Wait, where's he going? You know,
Yeah.
like there's that thing that people have. Like,
It's so stupid. Like, what was it? One time this guy had a cart of like a box of meth and kiwis. So he's like, I'm not buying these. He gives me the kiwis. And then he keeps walking away with the masks in his cart. I'm like, oh, did you buy those? He's like, no. And then he keeps walking. And I'm like, oh, maybe he's going to self-checkout.
That makes no sense.
Yeah. So, but he goes past self-checkout. He's like slowly walking to the door. So I run over and I'm like, sir, did you pay for those? And he screams, no! And he sits down on the bench and he's all like,
That's weird.
and though I go over to my
oh no,
boss,
I've seen there's
Yeah.
one. Yo, there's
and
one.
I go over to my boss, and then she's like, Julie, what happened? So she told me what happened. She turns around, and the guy's like, and she's like, yeah, he left. I'm like, I should have stopped. Should have been like,
No,
you
it's
got
funny.
away
Like,
with
there's,
it?
I saw this before too. Like, somebody tried to walk away with 8 pizzas, and he actually managed to do it. But like, cause here's the thing though, cause like one of the employees caught him like So what he was doing was he was fake scanning the pizzas. Like he would fake, and he would go to self check. Like you go to self checkout and like he would flip the box over where the barcode wasn't and just make it seem like he's scanning on camera, but you never heard the beep sound. You know, like you know how like you scan something, you hear the beep, beep. You never heard that, so like you're like, wait, he didn't pay for those. So basically, he got to the 8th one, and like the front end manager was like, hey, you didn't buy those, and he's like, yes, I did. And he's like, where's your receipt? And he kept walking, and then he had to get Sammy, and then Sammy was like, well, did he pay for him? He's like, no, he didn't. He's just walking away from him. And then she's like, well, shit, he already left the store, so it's like I can't really do anything now.
I know. It's so annoying though when they just give up. I'm like they're just gonna do it again. Like go over and be like, if you don't pay for those pizzas, we're calling the police. I don't care if you have a hissy fit in our store. You're the one embarrassing yourself.
I know.
I think we should be really way more strict.
Yeah, no, that's just funny because like also I saw one time Mario almost kick out somebody. He was like, it was so funny. Like he was like this is when like masks were like very serious. Like it was like 3 months after like COVID was announced, and everyone was like terrified and stuff like that. And literally like one person walked in without a mask, and the vaccine wasn't even out yet.
Yeah.
And like Mario was like, listen, I have legally the right to kick you out the store. And the guy's like, no, you don't. You can't kick me out the store. He had no mask on. And literally Mario started like put his hand behind his back and started like nudging him like, hey, you're leaving now.
Yeah.
And he's like, don't touch me. I'm walking away anyway. It's like, okay, but it's like, bro, you didn't have to like. I'm like you shouldn't have done that to Mario in the first place.
I know Mario's such a sweetheart.
Like you shouldn't have been disrespectful towards him. Like you started yelling at him. You started getting mad at him because of what you didn't do.
Yeah, I don't know why they get so shocked when they're confronting people and then someone pushes back, and then they're like, "Oh, why are you touching me?" Like, because you're being annoying. That's why they're touching you. Like, because you're breaking the law.
I'm gonna escort you out the store.
Like employees are just like trying to do their job. They're not trying to start fights with people.
And then like there were some people that try to get you fired for no reason.
Oh my god.
They only have the only reason why they want to get you fired is because they don't like literally because of the one time like one bad experience with them. Like they'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna just tell on him. I'm gonna tell on the manager on him and get him fired. You know.
That's so rude.
I know, but there was one time like this. This gay guy like he went over and he walked over to my line and he was like buying stuff. And then literally he tried to make up a fake story, like, because literally me, like, as soon as he left, me and him were, like, me and the backer were having a conversation, we're making jokes.
Oranges or something.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, like, freaking gay guy, like, goes to Sammy and, like, it goes to the manager at the time. And then the manager pulls us from the register and she literally screams at us. Like,
What?
Like, she screams at us. She's, like, saying, oh, it's like, you, like, saying the F word. Oh, I'm like, whoa, hold on, we never said that.
Yeah.
What?
We never said that word ever.
I would be like so confused if anyone ever said that.
I was like,
I would be like, I don't think they would say that, sir.
I'm like, hold on, wait, hold on.
So she was just believing the customer.
Yeah.
I would be
but then she realized, oh wait, you're a good kid. So, like, there's no way you've done this. Cause
I know.
I'm just saying because I'm like, hold on, I have gay family.
I don't want to say anything.
Like I'm not saying this to be like, oh, I have gay family members. I know how to treat them. I don't say that to them. I don't say
that to my sister.
Anyway.
She'd be so. Actually, I say a lot of crazy crap to my sister, but I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, I know, but like, I'm just like, why would I ever? That never comes out of my mouth.
Like,
period.
I don't even understand the story. Because like, why was he? Did you do something to make him upset?
No.
Was it like? I mean, obviously you didn't do anything, but like. Did he? What made him so upset to go like?
So he was basically saying, oh, like they threw my food in the cart, and then they started calling me things. They started laughing at me.
What?
I'm like,
so he just made this whole story.
Yeah,
I would have been like, really?
He's making this up, and then they checked the cameras. None of that what he said happened.
I know.
So we're just like.
Like I would have been like just suspicious of him, and I would have been like, hey, he said some crazy stuff about you guys saying the F word. You know where that came from? Like I'd ask you guys what happened.
Yeah.
But you don't need to get all hostile with me and like scream at me like in the conference room.
Wait, the manager did that?
Yeah, the manager literally pulled both of us into the conference room and just screaming at us for like 10 minutes.
No, that's bad. She should have checked first, or like at least been like, hey, did you do that?
Yeah, she wasn't like that. She literally was like, oh yes, you like. I'm like. Whoa,
I didn't know she screamed at you. I thought
it wasn't Sammy was just like.
Wait, was this? Who was this?
Was
it Jen?
Not Jen. It was
Wait, was it Jen? Was it
No, not dead. It was I think she left now, but her daughter works at Starbucks. You know, Lucy.
Oh, I know Lucy.
That's Lucy's mother. That was manager.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
she.
I don't know who she is because I
Yeah.
feel like Sammy wouldn't.
No,
do
Sammy
that.
wouldn't do that. Sammy was like just looking at us like she was actually shocked that she started like the other manager was yelling at us. She was like, "Whoa, why you yelling at these kids like this?"
Yeah,
You know?
like it's obvious it was fake.
This,
Like I don't
That's
know.
really weird. I mean, I think that she should have been more careful.
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
don't want to scream at your your other workers.
Yeah, you're
If
working
you don't
with these
have to,
people.
because then you have to stay around them and like still work with them.
Yeah,
They
no,
don't
and then,
need you.
the whole like we're not gonna forget about that. So we're just sitting there like,
Yeah, and like you could have people quitting if you do crap like that.
Yeah.
Like people are just so rude to employees. I don't know why, and managers don't stick up for employees sometimes, which bothers me. Like
Yeah, I felt like that happened to me a few times where I was like working,
Yeah.
and it's not that my managers are bad, but like kind of like you're not supposed to do that, and I asked for your help to like explain to the
people
customers,
pick on you.
but then they just like do what the customers want anyway. It's like you're not like supposed
Yeah.
to like. You
no,
know what I
it's,
mean?
I think what it is like I think it goes. I think you have to start blaming corporate for that because corporate like
Yeah.
incentivizes. Oh, if we keep the customers happy, they're gonna keep coming, and then if they keep coming, we're gonna keep making money. So that's what they're thinking. They're
Yeah.
not thinking about like the human aspect of this.
Yeah,
Like,
they're not thinking
they're only
like
seeing
we
a
have
number
to
on a piece of
protect their
paper and saying, "Hey,
employees.
just keep doing this to keep this number going up." They don't care about like the whole like
Yeah,
oh
like all those
like-
Amazon people, they can't even have AC in their stupid warehouses. And they work for like $1 billion corporation. Like why can't they?
oh
get
like
better?
was it Star Market's terrible too because like
Yeah.
we got like was it the trash bags are god awful. It's like
Yeah.
was it like the trash bags are like okay so like you know like those really thin bags that like they can't hold anything.
Yeah.
Like you put more than like maybe 4 pounds of weight it rips.
Yeah.
That's our bags that we get for the
Pretty
trash
much,
bags.
yeah.
But I'm in the meat department where we have to constantly keep dealing with bones and other scraps
Oh,
like
yeah.
such and, like,
That
and
must
also
be rough.
packaging.
Yeah.
And guess what? Those packages like all together when you put it in a trash bin, it weighs more than 4 pounds. So it's gonna rip and tear and then like
Can you guys double bag it?
we do double bag it, but it still end up breaking and leaking all over the place. Like
That's awful.
there's been multiple times where I had to clean up the whole I had to clean up the whole pathway because literally blood was leaking from the meat department all the way to the trash room. So I had to clean all of that.
That's awful.
Yeah, so like, there was that happens all the time. So I'm just like, why does
It's so. I hear Whole Foods. Everyone who works at Whole Foods is pretty okay.
Yeah.
Or like, because I saw the guy on Whole Foods on Joe Rogan, and he was like, he got in a fight with Joe Rogan about vegetarianism, which is stupid, but like, mostly Joe Rogan was getting it. I know I'm not, but anyways. But he was but Joe Rogan's like, wow, why are all your employees so happy? And he's like, well, I try to keep everybody happy, and I try to make sure everyone's okay and they're healthy and make them feel like they're part of the team. I'm like, why can't we do that everywhere? Like, why is it like so hard to do
Not
that?
because people like there's a lot of people that just want money. They don't really care about the other
But,
aspects.
But like if you have happy employees, you'll make more money.
Yeah, you would think they would get that, but they don't. They
Like,
they
if you
see
have
a number,
happy
like I said,
employees,
they see a number of
You
pieces of
have
paper.
a good workplace that is going to last longer
Yeah.
than a
Like
crappy
I'm just saying, I'm
workplace.
like, hold on, guys. Do you understand that you make more money the more you invest in your company? Like,
Yeah.
Like because they keep removing stuff. For example, like
Yeah.
we're not even gonna have regular
Yeah.
uniforms anymore.
What's up with that?
Like they're getting rid of like the regular gray Star Market.
Yeah, I like those
shirt
shirts. I like
for
those.
now you have to go buy your own shirt.
Yeah.
So it's like,
That's
what are you
weird.
doing? Like you're a $1 billion company, you can't afford some shirts. Like really?
It also looks better. Like I
Yeah.
don't get that. Like why wouldn't they give you a Star Market shirt?
And I don't know. They're just like, nah, we're not doing it anymore. I'm like, but then people are gonna but you're gonna understand. People are gonna walk around with different types of polo shirts,
Yeah.
and that kind of doesn't look professional.
No, it doesn't. It looks awful. It looks awful. Like,
Like
I've
it looks
seen,
like you're not doing anything. Like it looks like
Yeah.
you're just letting employees wear what they want to wear at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like it would probably look like how are you gonna be able to tell?
Yeah,
Who's
an
gonna
employee?
help you?
Yeah,
Like when
that's the
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Like, what is it? When I wear my sweat, when I take off my meat coat, like, no one notices I work there.
Yeah.
But when I put meat coat on, everybody knows I work there like that. The reason why we have uniforms in the first place is so you can tell who works there and who doesn't.
Yeah.
And now since you're getting rid of them, now it's going to be much harder for them to figure that out. But at the same time, you know. But it's just like it's weird. It's just a weird.
It's so
They're just gonna
weird.
blend in with the people.
I
Yeah,
know.
no, exactly.
That's why I decided to like dye my uniform black. Like I'll just take some dye and I'll dye it black, and that way I don't have to buy a new uniform. So I think it's just I don't know. I like the silver shirts because they lasted a long time.
Yeah.
And they're like plastic. Those shirts are like I don't know why
They're
they
not
can't.
comfortable. You have to wear something. You have to wear something underneath that. If you try to wear that regularly, it's very uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, but for working it's fine.
Yeah, because like you're meant to lick off water and stuff like that.
Yeah, but like I don't know. It's just like it just seems like they're wasting more money by not just letting us keep our uniforms.
Yeah.
I feel like and those are like new
They're like
black gray shirts.
devaluing the workers.
Yeah.
Like Stop and Shop, they have all those robots now, and they have that whole section where you just check yourself out, and it's sort of like they have that robot Marty that goes around.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I
don't know.
remember that.
Like I always thought he was cute, and he's nothing serious, but like, I mean, like the more there's things that are gonna like replace the workers, the more like the people aren't gonna be as valuable, and I feel like them getting rid of your shirts and like it's
Step
just,
one.
Yeah, just start to be like, well,
they need to
you
fix
guys
it.
aren't
Yeah.
like really needing to look that much like a star market person, you know? You can just
Yeah.
look like a regular person, and it's like,
I think you're missing the point.
yeah,
of
like
employing
you work
this
there.
stuff. Yeah.
No, but it's like yeah, it's gonna get to the point where like because like what people are like worried about is like what's gonna happen like over like so if I don't know if you ever heard of this, but you ever heard of the game like Detroit Become Human? I don't know if you
Oh,
ever.
I heard of that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like so basically that game is like it's basically a game about like where robots start looking like humans and
Yeah.
like, you basically like start like having like robot assistants and like
Yeah.
like it's crazy because like you see there's multiple different stories about like each robot. Like one robot is going like she's a maid for like this she's a maid for like this guy, but this guy is very sketch, you know.
Yeah.
He's not
Oh,
rich. He's not like a rich
I
person.
gotta put this outside.
He's not really like a rich guy. It's more because like he.
Oh, shit.
It's okay.
No, it's wet.
Well, our entire house got flooded down here. Like, that's why the walls are like.
Yeah.
I
Because I live on the water.
outside.
So, on
Yeah.
the water, we get flooded in storms.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Julie, don't go out the back door, though.
Not the back door. Why?
No, not that one.
No, I was gonna go up this.
Okay.
Okay.
No, but I'm saying it's like literally like this. The thing about like Detroit Become Human is like it basically like there's this one story where like she's a maid, but like it's a robot maid and it's for a sketchy guy, and then like you start when you play as her, you start realizing, oh wait, this guy's abusive, because like the reason why she was the new one is because the old one got destroyed, and the reason why the old one got destroyed is because the guy went on a rampage and broke the other one. Like because what is it? He gets mad. Like I don't know what it is, but like I think it's because like his wife left him and like he's stuck with his kid, you know, or like the wife died or something. And then like basically what happens is he started getting an alcohol and drug problem, and then he started taking those his frustrations out on the robots. But when you control this robot starts becoming a deviant, or it starts like having its self-conscious.
Oh,
Like, 'cause
yeah.
at first, robots, they don't really notice what's going on. They kind of just do their task, and that's it. But over time, what we start to realize is, like, when you start putting things with AI, they start reflecting traits back at us that are our traits. But it's like, they're not human, but since we made them, they became human. So
What?
that's why it's called Detroit Become Human. Because you know what I mean?
So the robot's name is Detroit?
No, there's one robot named Connor. He's a police robot. He's basically a robot like
He's like Blade Runner.
he's like a detective robot. He basically he helps his detective. He's part of the detective thing, and like he's like his job like all these stories are connected because the investigator robot is doing investigations on the crimes that have happened with these robots, these deviants that are sort of becoming deviants. And like one of those was when the robot that became the deviant I just told you previously kills the guy because she didn't want to be destroyed. So she's like,
Yeah.
and she wanted to protect the kid because he started like he didn't attack the kid obviously, but he was getting to the point here where he might accidentally hit the kid. So she was like, nah, you're not hitting this kid. And then they end up killing him, you know, because they found the gun and then all this other stuff.
Oh, good.
I'll take it.
Oh.
All right.
Oh.
Oh, you want to open it?
No, I'll give you half.
Oh, you want me to open it? Which one was that?
I was asking if anyone wanted this, but I wanted it.
Oh.
But then you said
Why'd you
wanted
ask?
it.
Did you want to ask if someone wanted it, Julie?
I'll pour some in yours then. I'll pour some.
No, you can have it. That's fine.
I'll pour some in yours.
No, but it's like it became like it got to the point where like then she like started. Was it so funny because like they basically found a hotel like because it was raining and stuff like that. They found a hotel. She basically played off as a human. She basically played off as a human and it worked. You know. It's funny though because like the investigator starts realizing, wait, am I a deviant? Because like every time he sees these deviants get out, he kind of like he lets them free. He doesn't take them in. He just lets them go. So he's like, wait, am I a deviant for letting these deviants go? So then it gets then the story starts unraveling.
It's like
Yeah,
Blade
he
Runner.
starts unraveling. He starts
That's
thinking about
basically
things.
Blade Runner.
Then he starts breaking his code.
He
and
just
like,
ripped off Blade Runner.
not really, because there's more to it than Blade Runner. Like it gets to the point where like the robots and humans are having a war now.
Yeah, Blade Runner.
And similar, but like there's this other character who was serving an artist, and the artist was telling him, "Hey, be yourself, be free, don't copy others." It was funny because like when there was like, "All right, paint something," he's like, "All right, I'll paint something," and he's like, "That's one of my pieces. Don't paint my piece. Paint something that you would paint." And then the robot was like, "Wait, what? Like, what does that mean? Like, paint something? Like, express yourself. Paint something that you would paint." So then you have the choice to paint something, and then you come up with this like obscure abstract painting, and the artist's like, "Huh, that's interesting." It's like, "Why'd you make that painting as well?" It's like, and then you're like, "Well, it's like a sign of freedom in a sense." You're like, "Oh," but then like it's funny though.
Oh, I have to shut off my phone. It's running out of batteries.
It's funny though, because like it makes you think. You're like, "Oh, this is crazy. Like this actually could happen." To the point where like robots just take over everything.
They have artist robots right now that are like people have.
Yeah, but like, they don't
they-
look like humans yet. They don't look like
they
us.
don't look like humans, but like they take something and they make it slightly different.
Yeah.
And then they can
But it's
sell
still a
it.
code to them. It's still a
Yeah.
human had to program them to do that. They don't do that on their own yet. Like once we start implanting AI into robots and they start becoming self-aware, that's when we run into the issue.
It's Elon
Cool,
Musk
though, because
wants.
they have painting robots.
Yeah.
I guess it just
Yeah. Oh no, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah. I can't believe Elon Musk wants to put chips in our head, though.
Well, he wants to do it. He's trying to cure. He's trying to figure out a way to cure dementia and
Oh, he's
Parkinson's.
always but that's what they say at first.
Yeah, I
right?
understand that, but I understand but it's like here's the thing about it. It's like okay, so you're gonna have a wirelessly connected chip in someone's brain that's connected to the internet that can basically do what you want it to do. You can control your phone with your head. It's like
Yeah.
you might want to relax on that one a little bit. Like you might have to wait a little bit longer on that one because information comes with these information comes fast enough. We don't need to have a link to the internet. We don't need that. I'm pretty
I
sure
don't want that.
that would be. I think personally that would be so fucking overwhelming.
Yeah, I think it would be too.
Imagine you're connected to the internet. You're gonna think everything the internet is. So you're just gonna be sitting there like, what's going on? There'd be times you'd be normal, and then next thing you know you'd be like, wait, that just happened? Oh no. Then you go down this list, this whole damn paradigm.
It's too much. I don't think we should
it's
put
too much
chips
information
in our
going
head.
in the brain enough. It's already bad enough that our brain has to control our heartbeat, breathing, blood,
Yeah, now we
circulation.
have a chip in it.
Yeah,
chip
now
in
we
our
have to
brain.
deal with the internet. Like that's too much.
They're putting chips in our brain. And then I have an AJ.
AJ.
I'm trying to think about an AJ quote about chips in our brain. Putting chips in our brains return the frogs dead. Or something.
What?
That was his famous quote. They're putting chemicals in the water to turn the... Because, this company was putting chemicals in the water that was changing the frog's sex.
Oh yeah,
And
I remember that.
So he's like, you're putting chemicals in the water to change the frogs gay. To make the frogs gay or something. That was what he was... That's what he... The thing about him is that he has something that's true. And then he goes off.
Yeah, and then he
Off the
he
wall.
just blows it
What was it? I
overboard.
watched like 2 minutes of Alex Jones, and he tells me like a billion things in 2 seconds. He's like, they're putting chips in bodies of soldiers. So I Google it because then he didn't.
Oh, that's why I told you to
Yeah.
watch. Listen, this is why you should watch Black Mirror
I should.
because there's an episode about that.
Yeah.
So basically, there's an episode where they put chips in the soldier's brain. They give them psychological training.
Yeah.
But the psychological training is not good psychological training. It's the psychological training to think that the enemy's a monster.
Uh-oh.
So here's the thing,
Uh-oh.
though. Here's what people figured out.
Yeah.
So like like when humans fight wars,
Yeah.
they started realizing, wait, humans are purposely missing. Like they're not hitting their target because they feel empathy for the person they're shooting at. So they're like, you know what? Let me not so they're like, oh, they're not killing as many people as we want them to kill. So let's put chips in their brain and make the enemies look like a monster.
Oh, that's
That way they're more likely to shoot it.
Oh, actually,
You know what I mean? Because like you're more likely to shoot a boogeyman than you are to shoot like another human being. You're,
Exactly.
if you saw a boogeyman came in, you're gonna instantly attack it.
Okay,
Well,
that's not what he was talking about though.
Yeah.
He was talking about like this green goop thing that they would put in soldiers to see if they had like blood poisoning or if they were lacking air and stuff.
Oh.
It's still in testing though, they haven't done it completely yet. But that's what he was talking about. But then he'd like go on another thing about how they're tattooing people and they're putting glass beads in them or something to control their minds. So I Googled it and there actually are tattooing people at like Harvard because they're trying to like do it for athletes. It's not actually made out of glass, so it's like a mood ring basically. It's a mood ring for your system that shows if you need more oxygen or if you need more like whatever. And they actually have really cute designs. But like I don't know, like he says something that's like true, but then it'll like go off the wall and then he'll change the subject. And I'm like, wait, can we go back to that?
Yeah, I get guilty of that sometimes.
That's
where I
for
start
attention.
talking.
Me too.
No, but like I get guilty of that sometimes where I like start talking super fast.
Yeah, but we're not like a
right now.
professional
Right now.
news source. We're not like we don't have a billion followers.
Yeah, I know. So like, we don't have a platform.
He was talking to Joe Rogan once, and Joe Rogan's like, listen, all you need is a fact checker on your show, so that way when you go off the wall, someone can be like, wait a second, let's look this up, because you're getting carried away. That's what he just needs. He just needs that. Alex Jones, if you're watching this, just get a partner who you can talk to. He and Joe Rogan should just start a show together, for crying out loud. They can go off on aliens or whatever they want.
And no, it's just funny though, because like, it's so funny because like we listen to some of these podcasts and you're just like, oh, I never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
You know, but like, was it the fall of Rome? It's crazy, like, so
Oh, Rome, yeah, I love it.
no, but like the fall of Rome, partially the reason why Rome fell is because people started changing genders.
Wait, they did?
Yeah, they started like men started becoming women and. You know, they started arguing about gender role, and then they got then it became. I know. I'm sorry, Mom.
The more corrupt a place gets, the
more
faster it falls.
Yeah.
Because they're doing it. They're all into like sensational stuff, like what made them feel good, but not about actually really living.
What's good for the people, you know?
Yeah, what's holding the structure of that country up, and then it fell, which people parallel it to the United States because
it's kind of happening right now.
Yeah,
in a way, it's kind of happening. We're kind of falling apart from the seams because, like, as you can see, it's like no, like I'm not saying like we're like this still is the greatest country to live in. Like if you had to choose the country to live in, this has the most freedoms and all that stuff. Like everything.
Thank you, Keon.
But the leadership needs work.
Oh
like,
God, yeah.
The leadership needs a lot.
Fire all of them. And
That's
just
the only
replace them
problem.
with anyone under 50. I think
Under
get rid
50.
of all.
Yeah, we run into the issue where like the politicians here, like they've been in office for 40, 60,
I
70
know.
years.
Kick them
You're like,
out.
You're 100 years old and you're still
Yeah.
You're still here.
Yeah, like
why?
kick out. Go
Like,
away.
There's justices that are literally like this. They're just like, I'm like, why are you still in? Get out! You can't even function properly.
I know,
man. Like damn, you know.
Like why? Why do they do this, Vanessa? Why do they do this? I just
it's really concerning.
like choose someone who's young and who's
Well,
popular.
You gotta be see the thing about choosing a young person, you gotta like make sure they're mature.
I get that.
Like, cause
I
like
get that.
if they're not mature, then the popularity is gonna get to their head.
Oh, I get that.
You don't want them to be too young, but you definitely don't want them to be old where they're gonna die soon or they can't function.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But like you need like a middle ground. Like you need to find someone that understands the young but also understands the old.
Oh, I get that.
But
I
it's
get
like-
that.
Like, but when you have too many people that only understand old philosophies and old ways of thinking, then it gets bad because then the people like us, the new people, the new wave, the new people, the new way of thinking, we start complaining about it, and then like we just, just we got social media, we can basically just, we could just cancel anybody we want. At this point, we could just be like, oh, this person breathed incorrectly, cancel it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we just get to the point where we can just do that to people.
Yeah,
you know?
like now the witches on TikTok are trying to cancel the Taliban, which I hope.
How are you gonna do that?
I
They
hope
don't even have internet. They don't care. Like,
They're trying to hex them. They're like
How?
they have all these like spells and they're trying to hex the Taliban. But they're having a hard time because like they're facing a god. So I mean this is what they said. I mean it started from a shit post. Someone's like, guys, I try to protect myself into the astral plane. I heard that was a shit post, but then it actually started the whole movement. So it's just really funny because on TikTok you see like witches stabbing the Taliban. It's like
no, the thing about that is that was bad on our part. We messed up terribly.
we did mess up.
Like honestly, they wouldn't have taken over if we just didn't leave our things behind. We just kept leaving.
I can't believe they did that. I still came in work and said that, and I'm like, no, that can't be true.
No.
People aren't that stupid.
No,
they are that
no.
stupid.
See, what happens is with us America, right?
Yeah.
Like anytime we get something newly issued, we kind of just keep the old stuff like somewhere.
Yeah.
We don't. There's no designated place for it to go. We just kind of be like, all right, we'll just make a pile right here, and then we forget about that pile, and then next you know we leave that base, and then guess what happens? Taliban's like, wait, this is empty. Let's go inside. All these guns they left behind. Wait, is that a Humvee? Does it work? It does? Oh my! And then you get this whole like, then 75,000 people become like the destructive combatant force.
A lot of those people are gonna die now, and it's really sad because they're trying to kill the Christians now, and they're like actually marking. Apparently, they're marking people's houses if they have a girl over 12, they want to take her.
Oh,
what?
And like all this bad stuff's happening there. And my dad just went to Washington, and his driver happened to actually be somebody who left Afghanistan from that area, left to come to the United States, and he got his whole family in like last year, the year before, but his brother's still over there with his family, and the Taliban has already come and tried to I don't know, I don't know what exactly they said, but my dad was talking to him, and he was having a hard time because my dad happened to meet somebody who, actually has family over there, and it's really sad. It really makes me sad how badly, Biden kind of screwed all these people.
He did!
True, but it's like, here's the thing though, we shouldn't have been there for that long. We shouldn't have been there for 20 years.
I get that.
Well, as a president,
I
feel
get
like he should have pulled out slower and protected the people who helped us and brought them maybe to America where they can continue to help us.
Yeah.
True, yes, but it's like at the same time we shouldn't have been there in the first place. Like we should have literally the objective was to take care of Bin Laden and call it a day. But what happened was it's like, oh, we took care of Bin Laden, but now everyone's like, wait, hold on. What about the people that he was governing over?
Yeah.
Then they were like, oh, people were like, oh, we should just take care of them. So we did, and we basically protected them for 20 years, and then we just decided, you know what? This is becoming too expensive. This is getting out of hand. You know, we need to pull out. We need to get out of here because this is not helping. We're not getting anywhere.
Yeah, we're not saving them. We're just putting a Band-Aid on.
Yeah, and then we left, but then we didn't realize.
We should have gone G.I. Joe on.
We didn't realize that we left. We didn't realize we left all that stuff behind until we left it.
I can't believe they did that.
And
that was
then,
so stupid.
since we left it, they took it, and then they took over. So it's like...
I feel like we could have done better there.
Yeah,
maybe
we could
to
have.
stop the Taliban because...
You should have nuked them before you left.
The
The Taliban, not the people.
No.
We should have made the Taliban explode, but not the people.
See, you can't just nuke anything you see
not
fit.
really nuke.
Here's the thing about...
Just put a grenade in their house and watch it explode. That's what I meant by nuking. All you have to do is lure all the Taliban to an amusement park, give them some ice cream and cigarettes, put them on the merry-go-round, and then nuke the merry-go-round, and you're good.
Yeah, but what about the nuclear fallout that's gonna spread 100 miles?
Not a real nuke. Just a little tiny grenade nuke. Just like this big.
You can't make nukes that small.
Okay. What if it's not a nuke? What if it's like a grenade? What if we put a grenade in the thing?
What?
And then we have the Taliban all die from a grenade? How's that?
But see, I'm pretty sure the Taliban are not that dumb. That's the
Yes,
thing.
they are.
No.
Have you not seen them on the amusement park? They literally just went to an amusement park after they took over that capital.
Yeah, because who's gonna stop them?
Yeah, we could have just lured them there and then shoot at them. It would have been perfect.
How are we gonna do that when there's no troops there, Julie?
Well, we put in secret soldiers. We put in the secret
They would have
soldiers.
killed them.
No! What if
Yes.
they're martial art trained? Go,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure. I'm gonna one man.
the
I'm a
Avengers
one man
initiative.
army,
We're gonna
75,000
send
people.
They killed the
You
Taliban.
understand how that
We're
works.
gonna
All they
kill
have to do
the
is get
Taliban.
behind you, Julie.
We're
It's not gonna be that hard
Taliban.
because you're gonna be distracted by the 10 people that are in front of you, and then everybody else is gonna be like, "All right, attack now!" And you got nothing. You can't do anything. It's only one person.
I'm gonna. But they do stuff in anime where they can kill everybody.
Yeah, but they usually have powers.
Alright, what if I have like a really cool weapon? Like if I have a really cool anime sword,
Yeah. What if you get disarmed?
then I steal their weapon.
What if you get an injury? What if someone breaks your
I'll
shoulder?
keep going, Keon.
Yeah, you're gonna keep going when your tibia snapped in half. Yeah, great.
What's the tibia?
Your tibia? So you don't know what your tibia is? That's right. That's true.
I keep.
That's the bone that goes
I-
really down this long bone here. Yeah, if that snaps, you're not walking.
I have to believe in friendship, effort, and victory. I can conquer anything.
It will heal.
Well, Bruce Willis did it. Bruce Willis, if he could jump from a building and survive, why can't I do it?
Well, because if you hit your head, Julie, you're not gonna survive.
But
Julie.
Bruce Willis did it.
He didn't hit his head though. That's why he survived.
But he got his feet hurt. Got his feet hurt.
Yeah, but he didn't hit head first like most victims that fall from a height from that height that high.
Keon, you're dampening my plan to save African.
Well, I'm sorry that I have to plant the seed of reality in your head, but you need to know these things, Julie.
I
It's like,
can just save everybody.
I told you we don't have enough energy to be doing that. Okay, once we were able to harness the whole solar system energy, we could jump off any building and be fine. It's like,
I want
You'll be
to.
able to transport yourself.
exactly, we'll be able to teleport like that.
What
No
if
problem.
we start an Avengers initiative where we get people with superpowers to come and help us defeat the Taliban? What if we do that?
Do you mean like post something and see if the Avengers are really out there?
Oh my god! Avengers Assemble. You just get some random nerds that they think they know what they're doing. They're like, yeah, man, I'm Iron Man. You're like, bro, you're not Iron Man. Like, yeah, I'm Iron
I
Man.
have this suit.
I have the suit. Dude, it's made out of cardboard. It's gonna break. No, it's not. It's bulletproof.
And then it goes over to the Taliban. He's like,
And boom! It's just done after one shot. It's like
I still think we should make people with superpowers. I think we should make super soldiers. And
No,
they
we
should
shouldn't.
go. Oh yeah,
that's ethically not.
that is true. I'm thinking about Steve Rogers. I'm too busy. Think about the happy version, not the sad version. Maybe we should just find people from across the world who are like those out people who can run a lot, and then they can help us fight against the Taliban. And then we can have like the people from the Alps, we can have like the people who are really good at lifting stuff, and they can form the Avengers Initiative. We can free the people of Israel and not Israel, Afghanistan. There's a lot of countries. Okay, there's a lot of them.
A lot of countries.
So many.
Well, the Taliban's probably a threat to Israel too, to be honest.
Well, here's the thing about it. Israel's a very vicious country.
Israel!
They fight. Listen. They fight. They're still fighting to this day
Hey, they will
to keep
beat
off
the crap.
3 countries
Yeah.
on 3
Did you
sides of the
know?
border. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you know that like Israel, like whenever I learned this, I thought this is so crazy, but apparently everyone, like all like, the Jewish people in Israel, whether you're a guy or a girl, you have to spend a certain amount
Yeah,
of time
it does.
Yeah.
in the military because it's such a small country. Everyone has to like
Yeah,
know
has to
how
fight.
to be in the
Yeah, right.
military.
Yeah.
It's like what?
Yeah.
I kind of wish that I like knew how to be in the military so I can just like fight people.
Sure,
I would
yes,
die.
but
I would die.
here's the thing about us American military. Like, there's a test you have to go through. For, like, it's a final test, right? But they spray you with mace
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
in your eyes. You have to fight with
Yeah.
that. Like, a lot of people go like.
They also make you go through like a room filled with gas, and you have to like not gag and
Yeah.
like, survive somehow. It's like not gonna kill you, but it's like it's a gas that like acts as like
Tear
bad
gas. It's tear gas.
Yeah.
Tear gas.
Yeah. My friend from the National Guard said he didn't have to do that because of COVID.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yay!
So our military, like we need our military to be good. They can't just not do stuff for COVID.
I think, COVID is.
They need to go out there and risk their lives, you know?
Yeah, they gotta get themselves. Actually,
They're
my friend
military.
in Afghanistan, he's fighting the war. Actually, it's not. He's a National Guard, but I'm
National
right.
Guard goes. They go around the world. People
Yeah.
don't like. Was it?
I
I
don't
told.
know why he's there though.
No, I told. There's a lot of people. I tell people like, bro, like you think because like you're in the Coast Guard, you think you're not gonna be in America when you're in a Coast Guard. You're gonna be like Japan or like in like Hawaii or something like that. Like you're gonna be in a close proximity of the country, but you're not gonna be in the coast because you have to protect it before they get to the coast. You know, so it's like. It's that weird thing, but they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna be in America. I'm gonna be chilling at the beach." I'm like, "No."
Yeah, like,
You're gonna be in a ship in the middle of absolutely nowhere for like months upon months on end. You know,
I
it's just,
have neighbors next door, like Roy and Nancy, and they're like a military family. I don't know if Roy was in the Navy or something, but they're very old now. They're like in their 90s and stuff, but they still like are really like well, like they just like do everything still, but they're really nice, and he was talking about, well, I've been to like all these places around the world and like all this stuff, and he's like, yeah, but when you're in the military, you never get to even see them, even though he's been to all these places. Like he just doesn't. You don't get to actually really see them. You're just there as the military to like be
Protect,
a military person.
you're not there as like a tourist. Like,
Yeah.
oh wow, look at this. It's like it's
Yeah.
more like you got to do a job and sit
Yeah.
there.
So like when he goes and tells people that, people are like, wow, that's so wonderful, and he's like, yeah, but like he doesn't really see anything because he's like a soldier.
Yeah.
Person.
Yeah, that's the thing. I wonder. So do you
No,
guys?
but it's weird. It's weird because like it's funny because like it's a primal instinct of ours to like actually go to like it's weird like humans been
Well,
going to war.
that's how like we evolved from like monkeys. So like when Jane
Oh,
Goodall,
chimps! Don't piss off a chimp. They will rip. They will rip you to shreds.
They will.
They will literally. They
They
will
will hurt
claw
you.
and rip everything out of you. They will rip your eyes out. They will rip your nose
Yeah,
apart.
Jane Goodall. There's like a story going around that like she saw the chimps do that, and she was actually really scared to tell the Science Association that because like she was trying to convince them to take care of the chimps. Like then she saw them like having wars with each other and murdering each other.
Yeah.
Like and she's like, oh shit! Like how do I don't know if I should tell them this.
You know what's funny though? The
Yeah.
apes are in Stone Age now.
They are?
Yeah. They're starting to make stone tools.
Oh my god, it's gonna be Planet of the Apes. It's gonna be Planet of the
It's
Apes.
gonna be a while, but yeah, it's
We're
gonna.
gonna be in Planet of the Apes.
No.
They're gonna have to learn the monkey language, and then they're gonna have to be like they're gonna fight to find the Statue of Liberty that
No.
exploded.
No.
No.
We're not gonna be
No.
alive for that, so we'll be straight. We'll be fine. You know,
God
that's gonna be
damn
thousands
it.
of years from now
Ugh.
when they actually start figuring out more things. You know, because like they had to go through the same process we did, where like it took us 200,000 years just to get to here to
Oh,
this
yeah.
point in time. So it's gonna
What
take.
if they see us as
So
gods?
theoretically speaking, it's gonna take them 200,000 years to get to this point, even though they've been around a lot longer than us.
What if the apes see us as gods?
That's what
As gods.
I just.
What if they see us as like they're gods?
I think they see us as other animals.
Yeah, they just see
To
us.
be
For
honest.
there's a few. There was a few there was one that could speak.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
There was one that he had she had learned how to like speak sign language
Oh yeah.
and
Oh,
like
yeah,
it was,
gorilla.
yeah, it was a girl.
Yeah.
She was saying like, oh, humans are stupid. Earth needs to be saved and stuff like that. You know,
I
like
think
I
the humans
yeah.
told her to say that though.
Yeah, I bet they did.
no, I mean, yeah, but I mean, you can train apes to do sign language. You can train them to
Yeah.
communicate with us. That like it's a weird process because like you
Yeah.
gotta have to reward them for every time they get something right for them to get it. Like you could teach them how to draw pretty well actually. You can teach
Really?
them because they have opposable thumbs just like us. They can draw like us. You can teach an elephant how to paint.
You can?
You can teach an elephant to paint itself.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. That's so cool.
Oh my god. Kia, we need an Animal Planet show. We
Why?
need it. We're gonna start Animal Planet. KJ
No.
Savage is the next Animal Planet.
Nah, I'm good.
We're the next Animal Planet. Bring your bunny down, Vanessa.
I loved to watch Meerkat Manor. Like the whole Meerkat family.
Wait,
No, it's so
let's-
funny because like I like hunt too, but like don't worry, I don't kill. Like I'm not an excessive person. I only take what I need, type of thing. So
Oh
it's like,
yeah. I think.
and
a
like
lot of
it's like
us
it's
do
more of
that.
like I only take the bucks. I'd never take the doe. Like if I see a doe
Yeah.
run by, I'm just like I'll let
Oh,
it
you
go.
went hunting?
Yeah, but I never
That's so
I never shoot the does because I'm like
When do you
they
do
need
it?
to survive. They need to
Can we
reproduce.
go
But like
with you?
a buck's like much easier to.
How do you hunt? Where do you do it?
That's so great.
You can go to Vermont or Maine or
Oh.
pretty much any country that allows. I mean, any
always
state that
wanted
allows.
to do hunting.
Was it?
I
I
know
bow
why.
hunted. It sucks. Bow hunting sucks. You have to get way closer to the animal. Like you have to be like 30
Oh,
yards
yeah.
away.
I think
Like see
you're
a
allowed to
rifle, you
hunt
can sit about like 100 yards away and shoot them. And
I've
it's
done
over.
some archery before.
But bow hunting, you have to be like, nice and easy. All right, get up the bushes. What did you put on? Did you put on that? That's a solution that they can't smell us. Oh, you did. Wait, oh, it's good. Shit's gone. It's gone. It's gone. Like there's literally.
You have to put on like a lotion.
Yeah, you have to. So it's basically like scentless lotion, sensibly. So like if you put it on, it won't scent. This animal can't smell you.
Really?
That's so cool.
But it's like it's it's a limited time period for that because eventually it's gonna rub off on your clothes and it's gonna rub off on the dirt wherever you're laying on. It's gonna go everywhere besides where you.
You have to take me hunting.
We have to go
too.
hunting, please.
Like I have like a bow and arrow and stuff. Like my dad's.
You need you need a certain type of bow. Like, you need one that like has. I mean, you could use a compound bow, no problem. You just gotta turn it up to like maybe like 100 pounds or 80 at most. I mean, can you pull 80 pounds of string or not? Can you pull 80 pound bow?
I don't know.
I
I did like the traditional sort of like.
If
bow,
you did the
like
regular bow,
wooden bow.
If you did the regular bow, like the D style bow, where it's just a simple curved string, like that one, they usually are around 40 pounds or something like that. But like certain bows, like the reason why you need like a strong bow is because you need to be able to actually penetrate the animal. Like if you have a 40-pound bow, you're not. If you shoot 30 yards away, it's just gonna stick. It's just gonna
I
land on
know
it.
there's a way you can still use like the
Yeah,
regular wooden
yeah, you
ones,
can.
because the Native Americans did it, but like it probably is harder.
It'll get much closer.
Yeah.
I mean, also they did have to strengthen them too to a point. They had to make them a little bit strong enough to actually the arrow to go through the animal. Like you can't just have like a 20-pound bow. It's like
My dad has one of those ones that are metal that it looks pretty strong, like it should be able to kill a deer. So I think that one should work, but that would be so fun.
Can I go?
Can you
guys? Can I go?
But you know, listen, it's a process too.
Yes,
I have to go hunting now.
Yes! I get to learn how to survive in the wild.
Not necessarily, because you're gonna have stuff to be fine. It's not like you're gonna be like left with nothing.
Are we like do you camp out there?
You can
like,
if you
a
want.
camp or
You
something?
can do that, but
We should bring beer.
you'll smell.
Okay.
Animals will smell that.
How will we drink? How are we gonna drink?
Why you want to drink?
Because that's half the fun with your friends. Is that you
Yeah,
get
but
to
if you're drunk, you can't use the bow anymore.
Yeah, you can.
There, I suppose you could have something a little to drink at night,
Yeah, but
not
you
a
need.
lot.
Yeah, I know, but you can't bring a whole bunch because the animals are gonna smell it and be like, oh,
Yeah.
stay away from that area, because that's not something
Well,
that.
like when I went camping in Baxter to avoid the animals, you just couldn't dump or get any food anywhere, any drink anywhere. You had to always put everything in like a trash bag,
Yeah.
and the trash bag had to be like hung up on like a tree or
Yeah.
something high, or like put in your car and like sealed in a container so nothing can. Because the mice actually would like go into your car and like chew through
Yeah,
and start
the
living in
plastics.
your car,
Yeah.
and it was just like crazy. So like you have to be wicked careful because the animals are like crazy.
They're very intelligent beings. They're not dumb things. They're not dumb little things that can walk. No, they have a brain. They know to survive. They do anything to survive. So, yeah.
You guys want to go to the beach?
Yeah, we should go. You want to go to the beach? All right, we should end the podcast here, guys. Check out this amazing, nice dimension we've been to, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nice
Thanks
lights.
to Vanessa.
Shouts out to Vanessa for hooking us up,
She
helping us out,
helped us with the lights.
and everything like that.
There's no comments in the thing, right? It's just bots.
Yeah, that's
Just
yeah,
bots.
straight.
Okay. Bye bye.
See ya.
Bye.